just like
best time of the freaking year,
it is, bro.
fall. Like you can wear jackets and hoodies
Bro.
again.
You can wear everything.
Anything,
you can
bro.
wear everything because it's warm enough to still slick wear shorts and stuff.
Hey, bro, but the thing is, I got one complaint, man. See, here's my thing. I feel like the transition between there being no good sports games to having like Madden and then NBA 2K's just like
and then you got to
thrust it on
choose
you,
between them.
bro. Like I had like 1 month. I'm decent at Madden, bro, but I'm not really that good. You know what I'm saying?
Now you back on 2K.
No, I didn't even buy 2K.
I'm not dropping 100.
Yeah, bro, I can't buy 2K yet because I feel like I'm not good enough at Madden.
Yeah, because hey,
make
when
the
you
change
just
over.
said you had Madden, my eyes like, hey, it's right there, bro.
Oh, you can get this work.
Bro, I am
Yeah, don't get it
trash at
twisted.
Madden now.
Like, hey, I'm in 2 leagues, bro.
Oh,
like money leagues.
I'm
I
with it,
do
bro.
this, bro.
I do this.
I'm like, I'm like ranked in the top 5%.
Hey, don't tell my wife, bro. Cash on it right now, bro. as soon as this is over with,
Hey,
bro.
no,
I'm with
no,
the shit, bro.
I bet you them Jordans that you won. but no, that is a significant, a real plight, bro. Like it's nothing, then it's everything.
Yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure, bro.
And I feel like the gap used to be bigger though.
It did, bro.
I feel like
Like,
it used to be it was Madden season and then it was
I
basketball.
mean, maybe it was my mom because she ain't buy games.
Maybe you know what?
Maybe that's
That's what it was. We didn't get the basketball game until
you
Christmas.
Just get it the day of.
We didn't get the
Exactly.
basketball game until Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what it was.
So
Yeah.
with the NBA though, they've moved up in general, right? Because of the to avoid the back-to-backs and stuff. Like
Is
I think that's what it was to stretch out the season and create more time in between games. They moved the season up.
Yeah, I don't think they start as late as they used to.
Okay. Well,
And then in the what's it called? The World Series, isn't that in October too?
yeah, and
Shit.
and I really want to say the last game of one of those series was November.
Oh, okay.
Like
wow.
it's straight. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got hockey, basketball, the end of baseball, and football. College football is something else too.
Yeah.
So you got
Wow.
all of that. Any college basketball starts back up.
started-
It's all everything. So baseball is really in a crazy spot where it's got the whole summer to itself. It's really wild.
Yeah.
So it's threw me off completely.
But no, it is crazy that's starting up. And with the NBA, I like a conversation that I just see all the time. And the way that social media and everything works, you're generally having that conversation with idiots. So
Yeah.
I just since I trust both of y'all's opinion, I just want to have the NBA GOAT conversation for the one time. I know this shit's stressful.
So
It is,
stressful,
man.
bro. It's so
I feel like friendships have been ended over this
Oh,
conversation.
for
Unfortunately,
sure.
man.
Bruh, and then when you bring Kobe being Bryant into
Oh,
it, niggas
man.
Don't
People
play,
don't really respect your opinion when you try to bring them into the GOAT conversation. Like he can't be your number one or
bruh, niggas feel away.
They really do, bro.
Because you gotta think Kobe raised us. Kobe was the one.
Yeah.
Jordan might have been there when you were super young, but then he was gone or he came back washed.
Yeah.
And then LeBron, you were probably old enough to really understand everything. But Kobe was there through all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Kobe stands be taking it real personal.
So first off, you're talking to a Kobe stan.
I know.
Yeah. So I'm like a huge the number one. This is my man. What I think has happened with Kobe, and I think he's gone from being overrated a little bit historically to being underrated.
Yeah.
Because I think right after with LeBron kind of eclipsing that, I think people have started to forget how big and how good Kobe Bryant was.
So we never got a Kobe versus Bron finals. And that's the craziest,
Yeah.
It
that's
is, bro.
ridiculous, bro.
And Kobe can be in your all-time or GOAT scorer. I don't know that, and skilled as well.
Yeah.
As far as skill set, I think Kobe Bryant is a more skilled basketball player than LeBron James. But as far as GOAT, you want to get into it, it's MJ and LeBron James. And this comes from Kobe Stan.
Are you saying that's what the conversation is between?
Yeah, it's between those two. It's between those two. And yeah, I think Kobe Bryant is more skilled than LeBron James because when you talk, it's a lot of things that LeBron James doesn't have a really high skill.
Yeah.
His footwork is still really bad. It's really bad.
You see some of it, it's like, what
yeah,
he doing?
he's I don't know if he's too big or what it is, but a lot of the movements he makes is kind of his body is fighting him a little bit on some of the things. And I mean, he's a power player, not a finesse player. But as far as scoring, Kobe is, you can put him in the GOAT conversation. As far as skills, I think you can as well. But I don't think he's in the GOAT conversation. I think it's
Overall.
LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's that.
So
Coming from a
between-
Kobe stand.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So we can clear that out.
Yeah,
early.
I agree with that, man. I think it's between those two. I tend to lean towards LeBron. I think that some of it may be recency bias.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this is what we lived through. You know what I'm saying? We've seen LeBron in every finals, like this every time. He's the East. You know what I'm saying? He
How
represents
many is it up to? 10?
7 in a row?
I've
7.
lost count,
Okay.
man. It's just so many. You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
definitely not 10 because 10 would have been 08. And that's the Celtics were still doing.
Yeah.
So the Lakers played the Celtics in 08 and lost. The Lakers played the Magic in 09 and won. Lakers played the
Celtics again.
The Celtics again in 2010 and won. Then 2011
Till now.
until now.
Yeah.
It was
LeBron.
LeBron
That's
James.
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, somebody to do it that long and be that efficient. Clearly, the best player on his team every single time.
Sure.
I feel like I got to give it to him, man. LeBron is my GOAT. And this is coming from. I'm not a Kobe stan. I feel like I'm a rare breed, but I'm a Kevin Durant stan.
That's cool.
Favorite basketball player of all time. Period.
Oh, wow.
I think
All
he's
time,
I
period.
think he's right there in that same GOAT conversation I put Kobe in,
Yeah.
as far as scoring and skill set as
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
like a skilled player, a very skilled player, not
Absolutely.
skill set overall,
Yeah.
because he's not much of a passer,
Yeah.
but just skilled.
he's gotten better.
He's gotten better. But if you look at his footwork, his touch, all those type of things, it's a very skilled game that
Absolutely.
he plays.
I'm interested to see how Kevin Durant's legacy changes over the years if he leaves the Warriors and goes and gets a ring with.
I'm excited for him to do it, man.
Yeah.
As a Kevin Durant stan, it's so frustrating to hear people say that.
I was gonna say, it's been a tough couple of years.
It's frustrating, man. I supported him when he was in OKC. I was an Oklahoma City fan. Had to transition to being a Golden State Warrior fan while he's there, and if he goes to the Charlotte Hornets, I'll be a Charlotte Hornets fan.
Yeesh.
So
Commitment.
yeah, man, I'm rocking with him wherever he go to. But KD, man, like he gets so much slack for leaving Oklahoma City, man. Let's talk about that. That year they were up. Yeah, they were up 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Western Conference Finals. They absolutely should have won. But I don't think Kevin Durant was to blame. They have a turnover machine at point guard.
Oh my goodness! I was definitely about to get into the Russ questions, but that's
Right.
great. Okay,
He
keep going.
is a turnover machine. I love Russell Westbrook to death, man, but he turns the ball over so much. His decision making is piss poor, and I really don't believe that the Western Conference Finals is what made the decision for Kevin Durant. I really feel like what made the decision for him was that offseason when they traded Ibaka for Victor Oladipo, and they didn't make any other moves. They made no other moves. They didn't get anybody else. And on top of that, they had brought in, I think the year before, they had brought in Billy Donovan from Florida. He's a terrible coach. They should have got Mark Jackson. Billy Donovan he hasn't proved anything. He won a championship with, like two championships with like just stacked teams though. I mean, like
for colleges for sure.
yeah, I mean, come on now. They had Corey Brewer, Joakim
He had
Noah.
2 NBA All Stars and like a 10-year,
Al
15
Horford.
year
Like-
NBA role player.
Who you think
Mike Miller.
Who you think got him there?
Who do
got-
I think
got
got
who
those
there?
players there?
Yeah.
Oh, the recruiting
Talent.
aspect. Okay.
who brought those players there?
I guess the recruiters. I don't know.
Billy Donovan.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Do we take away Nick Saban's wins because he's got stacked teams?
So
His
Yeah,
teams are
I
better.
do. I mean, I think
Okay.
I think that Nick Saban, like, yeah, Alabama should win. If they don't win every single year, it's
it's bad coaching.
it's bad coaching.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing though. That's college. So the recruiting, you should get points for that. But in the NBA, like
don't recruit.
your recruiting doesn't translate to the NBA.
Sure.
yeah, and
So
I'm-
I mean, you don't get that credit. Like your recruiting skills in college don't yield anything really in the NBA.
I
So-
think that one of the biggest sports travesties. There's two big sports travesties in my mind. The first one is Tony Dungy. The fact he doesn't get enough credit because he built that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. He doesn't get enough credit for that, and he didn't get another coaching job after it. I guess he retired or whatever. But the second would be Mark Jackson. I mean, he absolutely built that Golden State Warriors team. Steve Kerr is an excellent coach. I don't want to take anything away from him, but you have to say that, the defensive mindedness that the Golden State Warriors had, it was instilled by Mark Jackson, and Steve Kerr even said that himself.
Well, just
the unselfishness as
sorry
well.
to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
Just the personas that he was able to create, to be able to convince Steph Curry to just play so confidently and just really instilling him that you're the man. To like Klay Thompson comes to the like draft interviews and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a 3-and-D player. That's it. Like thinks he's just gonna be Trevor Ariza.
Yeah,
and then like mold them or even the boldness to sit David Lee and like make Draymond Green a starter who's like. He doesn't even have a position at the time.
From Michigan State.
This is before positionless basketball is really a thing. And you're like, this 6'6", maybe 6'5", chubby guy, like, and saying, like, oh, no, he brings enough to the team that we're going to put him on. Like, you can do that with different players every year. Nobody does that. Like, DeJuan Blair, could have been on a court offering a lot of the same things that Draymond Green does, but he's just unheard of. Like, you don't take that risk. And so, for him to be able to mold those people into like the pieces that Steve Kerr had is like underappreciated.
Absolutely.
And so I think before we get to yours, Blake, I think that it had more to do with the Warriors than it did with the Thunder. I don't think it had to do as much with them trading Ibaka. I think it had to do with he wanted to play in that style of just like free flowing basketball.
Yeah.
It's a fun
unselfish.
Team. It's a fun team.
It is.
And then playing for Steve Kerr, he just keeps it real. Throughout, he's like, hey man, you're the best basketball player in the world.
Shoot that shit.
Just shoot the shit. Just have fun. Have fun, man. He understands life. Like, hey man, I think you should be able to smoke weed. Like, you know what I mean? He's just chill. He's not pressing. He's like, let's just go. We got the best team. Let's just go win.
No, I mean, I get that. I agree with that point as well. But I think that if the Oklahoma City Thunder would have been more aggressive with their roster moves in that summer, they would have had a much better chance of Kevin Durant staying. You're telling me that you trade, you have that team that competes with the Golden State Warriors, and then you trade Ibaka for Victor Oladipo, and you make no other roster moves, and you bring that team to compete again the next year. I don't see it.
I don't know how much fun Durant was having in the Thunder relative to the Warriors.
Absolutely.
He's just having way more fun.
He is, man. And I think that you got to bring up the off-court ventures as well in Oklahoma City.
Well, I also think you have to pay attention to the fact that, what you just said, the style of play that they're doing in Golden State, he enjoys it a lot. It's free for him. You can just, find your spot and it's going to come to you. You don't have to go like searching for your offense. But I think something he had to realize was I'm the man on this team, and he's probably been saying that to himself. But Russ had arrived. Like Russ was an NBA superstar. There was nothing you could say.
Absolutely.
You couldn't attack him, and you were like, okay, Russ is obviously another staple in this team. He's not my sidekick anymore. Yeah. And what system? And I think that's still a question they have now. What system do you run with Russ that like is good basketball? Yeah. Because Russ's biggest skill is passion.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and it's the same issue you had with Allen Iverson. Like, very different styles of play, obviously. But as passionate and as hard as Allen Iverson plays, at the end of the day, he's best at shooting guard, and he's 6'1"? Yeah. He can't guard.
I don't even think
he's
6 feet.
He can't guard T-Mac and Kobe and Vince. So like, what do we do? Like, what do we do? Yeah. And
because I think that the coach before Donovan was he's a coach at Washington now.
DC. I didn't think he was very good either. I don't remember his name.
I liked him.
I didn't.
He's an absolutely terrible coach. As a Thunder fan, the reason why I say he was a bad coach was his lineups. You know what I'm saying? There was times where Scotty Brooks, his name. Scotty Brooks. So Scotty Brooks would have 3 to 4 point guards on the floor at one time. It was the most confusing. It's like you gave your little cousin a controller in 2K. And he just put
manual substitutions on.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like, it's like I'm so confused. They're playing because we always would line up. We would always meet up with the Spurs in the final, either the Spurs or the Grizzlies. Western Conference playoffs. We meet up with one of those two teams. The similarities between the two: you either have Zach Randolph, Gasol, or you have Tim Duncan and some other big man. So you got two bigs. Scotty Brooks every single year would move Ibaka to center and Kevin Durant to the 4. And
Tim Duncan go crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, it's a mismatch every single time. I mean,
I don't fault him for that. Like,
We're trying to force Pop's hand
yeah. I mean that happens all the time with the
or
Warriors
the Grizzlies.
Like,
but the difference between the two, though,
they got to guard our guy too, and his name is Kevin Durant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have. I'm not upset.
But
with
I think the
specifically.
difference between the two, though, is Steph and Klay Thompson. You got shooters. It's not, you're not dealing with Derek Fisher and I don't know who's the other point guard.
Reggie Jackson.
Eric Maynor.
Eric Maynor, yeah.
Bro, Eric
man.
Maynor used to turn
Hey
up on
man,
two
shout
shots.
out to Eric Maynor.
Yeah, no,
man.
for real. That
For
changed
real,
y'all's
bruh.
team. I think
He was from Rayford, North Carolina, bro.
There it
did
is.
not know
that.
And
man.
something else. I think James Harden changed y'all's team. You know,
Oh, for sure.
I think a couple of things that you guys just
I can't.
threw
They
away.
really botched that.
Yeah.
No. Now, Darrius, you don't know Sama, but I know you do.
Mm.
When I tell you he's the OKC, he's gonna lose his mind when he hears this, and I just want him to know that I can envision the anger on his face, and I'm glad that you're listening to me. Fuck the Thunder.
What we haven't got you on the record. Tell me the
Oh,
goats.
I mean, Jordan is the GOAT.
yeah.
Just to bring this full circle, we definitely went deep dive on a tangent, but yeah, Jordan's my GOAT.
So we're just doing GOAT or we're doing top 5?
Oh, I'm not. No, fuck no, I'm not doing top 5.
All right.
We will literally be here. That's our full episode. It's for sure Jordan.
Yeah.
Did you say yours?
I said him. And I'll tell you something else.
I don't think you said it.
I don't
I
think
did.
you
I
said.
said James and Jordan.
But
that's
you
not-
gotta-
no,
that's not the
a
answer.
GOAT. You got to say
The
one.
greatest of all time is a person.
It's
That's
a
Oh,
singular.
okay. Kobe being Bryant.
my nigga.
Huh? Wait.
You
what?
went on a 20-minute conversation about how Kobe was not in this conversation.
I never said that.
You are 100.
So, man. So, LeBron is gonna have the best stats. He's gonna be like top 5 assists, rebounds,
every
points.
every year.
Like every single thing.
Playoff wins.
Like every single thing, man. But it's tough. I think
We're not talking most dominant. We're talking greatest of all time.
Ooh,
So,
slick.
and I mean that stat you're talking about him going to 7 straight. That don't mean nothing to me.
because you losing.
Because
Yeah.
and who is competition? I feel like every
East,
single
yeah.
big person who came up against him got hurt. Like they all got hurt and cleared
he
the
has,
way.
What's crazy
he has
is
some gifts, man.
It was crazy. Is Bron fans will like hang that over your head if you like support the Warriors in any way. You know, everybody just got hurt. It always works out for them. I'm like, you're a LeBron fan.
Every
Like,
single person.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the era before. Like even Jordan's era, you see some of those videos.
Yeah.
You see some of those videos. It's pretty funny. Like,
It
you're
is,
like,
bro.
damn, like it don't look like these guys are too good.
Like
it
I
was
swear I just seen this guy direct.
you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys look like I would hoop on them at the YMCA. You
Yeah,
like YMCA hoopers.
but so that actually is exactly why Jordan is my GOAT over LeBron. And that's with one caveat, and I'll address that later. But to me, I think it is ridiculous that when we say Jordan or LeBron, people are like, so one-on-one, who do you take? Relax.
Yeah.
First off, LeBron grew up watching Jordan.
Sure.
That's this conversation, I think, is like one of the only times in life we ignore evolution and like how things like
Yeah.
work.
Uh.
If LeBron comes 5 years after Jordan retires, he's a grown man. Like his whole life is spent watching Jordan and watching all these other people and learning from them. LeBron is the size of Karl Malone with that like court vision of Magic and like the athleticism of Jordan. Like he's clearly a product of what was before him.
Yeah.
So when I compare them, I'm not comparing them directly to one another. I compare what they did in their time.
Yeah.
And if you compare like what they've done in their time and you compare them against the field of their peers, I mean, the separation to me isn't like close. Like it is literally Jordan figures it out, dominates. In the middle of his career, takes a break to go chase a hobby, comes back, gets in shape, dominates again. Like, I mean, it's not even close. And like you said, the people playing him look generations behind him.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. Like he's like the first icon that we know in sports. Like like when you see him and Michael Jackson, and I don't remember what the like promo or music video was together. It's just literally like two people hanging out doing absolutely nothing, and the whole world was in awe because it was like these two iconic figures are together. That's what Jordan was. Like we had never seen anything like that. And I mean, LeBron has done a lot. He's amazing. But I mean, it's not close to me. Like LeBron goes to the finals and we're like, he's for sure going to lose sometimes. Like that's happened more than once.
Yeah.
The thought of Jordan going into a finals and losing is maybe the first ring against Magic. And then we like the
I
story.
feel like there's a lot more variables, man. I think that like the GOAT conversation oftentimes gets like oversimplified. You know, I mean, Jordan, his teams were a lot better too, man. Like,
you think Jordan's teams were a lot better than LeBron's?
Some of them, like, you know, like for example, this last team that LeBron drugged to the finals by himself on his coattail, I would absolutely take the Bulls.
Who the hell did they play?
Who did the Cavs play?
The Cavs played. They played Toronto.
The best team they played was, I'd say, Boston. I mean,
Boston.
Yeah,
Who
I
was
mean,
down their two best players.
yeah, exactly.
In a year ahead,
Yeah,
down their two best players.
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, man. I just doesn't. I don't know.
I
so
knew
this is what's tough for me.
10 times out of 10, I had bet I gave somebody a 3-game spread on the finals. That's how confident I was.
I mean, outside of this team, I mean, and of course the earlier years when they're building.
Yeah,
but the 06 team and this team, like those are the only teams where I'm like, yeah. And if we go back to the beginning of this season, that team is stacked. Like this Cavs team started out like
Michael
ridiculous.
Jordan in 2011 is not losing to the Dallas Mavericks. All right,
like
he's not losing to the Dallas Mavericks. And I'll tell you something else. All of this, like, you know, LeBron, he could never beat the Warriors because they're such a good team. I mean, Dallas Mavericks not supposed to be in that series.
Yeah, they weren't.
With the Heat.
They weren't.
So it's like, I don't want to hear this like, oh, they're outmatched.
Yeah.
That Dallas Mavericks team led by old-ass Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, and Dirk was a star.
Yeah.
You know, like, that team's not supposed to lose.
Dude,
I mean, win.
Jason Terry looks so good, man.
Bro,
guarding LeBron James.
No, Jason
Terry
Kidd
and Jason
guarding
Kidd were
LeBron.
guarding LeBron James.
Ridiculous.
At the free throw line. That's not happening to Michael Jordan.
No.
You know what? I'm done. That's my case. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Got to go with
Bro,
it.
You borderline convinced me.
Bro, what's even crazier is people like to like run the narrative Jordan never played anybody. Bro, go back and look at those teams because they're not stacked like by today's terms. Like, bro, that Utah team?
That Utah team was, yeah.
Bro, if you even just go back and like look at those playoffs alone and look at who they swept the Kobe and Shaq Lakers.
Ooh.
Now, granted, Kobe's still young, but they had 4 All-Stars that year.
Wait, who are you saying swept the Kobe and Shaq Lakers?
Utah. It might not be a sweep. It might be a gentleman's sweep.
But
it was like not close.
You mean the one that Kobe shot the 2 air balls? It was his first season. It was first
No, not first year because this is 98.
So this is
second year when he broke out and like was an All-Star. He's an All-Star. Shaq's an All-Star. Exel Jones is an All-Star. Nick Van Exel's an All-Star.
I'm pretty sure.
And Utah got them the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I think in that same playoff stretch, they beat the Spurs too. So this is 98. I know with Jordan, like we're young and he's viewed as such as icon that we like to think about it so long ago. But right after 98 is you know, the Lakers run with Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
And that's still like, you know what I'm saying? That's not like the Spurs, but I believe Tim Duncan and David Robinson are both there.
Well, the Spurs won in 99, I believe, with it was the lockout season for them.
And then 2000, 2001, and 2002.
No, they didn't win. You talking about
Lakers.
Lakers. Yeah, Spurs and then the Lakers
right.
won. Yeah.
Utah beat both of those teams. That same playoff stretch. And it's like, we like to make these narratives because niggas like to make videos on Twitter. But like to me, that GOAT conversation isn't close. The only time the GOAT and then when I say it isn't close, let me slow down. We're talking about the greatest of all time. So you're literally nitpicking at this point. But for me, what changes the GOAT conversation is if we treat this like we treat it with other GOATs, you know, for example, like Muhammad Ali, and we say, do you consider off the court achievements and activities?
I'm talking specifically on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we add off the court like we do with Ali, then I'm
Jordan
going,
ain't shit.
Yeah, fuck Jordan. I'm going LeBron.
It's LeBron all day.
And in public, I say, like, amongst white people, I say LeBron. Just being real.
I like your style, man.
gonna end it with this. I got to start back with my Stan conversation. Kobe's a better scorer than both of them.
Oh, for sure.
Both?
And Kevin Durant gonna hit that fadeaway over Rondae.
Over Kobe?
Yeah.
You think Kobe's a better scorer than Jordan?
I think so. I think he's a more versatile scorer. Jordan can't shoot threes like Kobe. Jordan, like
His shot got better later.
His shot got better, and a lot of those attempts are like evolving. Like I don't know if it's just purely being better. Like
so you're telling me if you needed a bucket, you're down 2. You're gonna get a ball to Kobe over Jordan.
what are you talking? Hitting a game-winning bucket?
Game winner.
No.
It's the end of the
Hold on. Even well, okay, answer that, but then I got one right for you.
No,
Right after that for you.
it might be the bias. It's just a toss-up. I'll
It's a
get it to
toss-up
either
to you?
one. I feel comfortable with either one of them.
No, you gotta pick one.
I feel comfortable. I'm good. Like I've seen, I literally watched Kobe's. All I've seen is highlights of Jordan doing it. Like I saw it in the moment of
Yeah,
Kobe,
yeah.
and so I just got that recency
For sure.
bias. So
I feel you.
But I guess when you say better score, I don't know like what exactly you mean, because there are shots that Kobe hits that I've never seen Jordan hit, and that's because he wouldn't take them. Like he's
Sure.
not gonna take the like double clutch, double teamed, underhand
40-footer.
knockdown. Like
I don't think
and I'm
I don't think he can make it at the rate that Kobe can.
how do we know? Like why don't we just say Jordan had like, to me that's just better decision making.
I think Kobe's a better shooter. And the numbers don't bear it out because Jordan took better shots straight close to the basket, but I think he's a better just pure knockdown shooter than Michael Jordan was.
It's really one of those things I guess we just really can't answer
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
when you think about
And
it.
I mean, when you look at it, like what did I send you the other day? Like LeBron, this is bringing LeBron into it, but LeBron has had like what 11 50-point games his career. Kobe had like 10 in one season or something.
Yeah,
like, dude, do you remember when he was on this tear of like 10, 12,
He
40
was
point
going
games?
crazy.
Just like it was
I mean,
easy.
he put up 81 points.
81, but I think it's more impressive that 62 and 3/4.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause we don't know where he would've
if-
got.
Bro, if you know what I'm saying, like that fourth quarter, we don't know what the hell
No.
we would have done.
No.
So like he could have. I mean, let's just look at that same pace. He's at 80, so he's got 2 80-point games if he plays that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like he's number 2 and number 3. You know, so I think if we're talking about just mass shooting, scoring, like I'm taking Kobe being.
I guess generation wise, you're gonna naturally get better, and that's the thing. And so with them, their generations overlap, so it's hard to like separate those two, and so it is easier to compare them because they obviously played against each other, and we're just familiar with seeing them in the same, I guess, scope. Whereas we kind of have that gap between him and LeBron.
something
Jordan, that
else.
is.
Else, really quickly. Kobe is always mentioned with Michael Jordan as far as like similarity. I think Dwayne Wade played more like Michael Jordan than Kobe did outside of the fadeaway. Obviously, the fadeaways are mirror images, but as far as like dominating that free throw down mid range like area and like just being physical, like dunkers and long people doing that, like shorter. It's. I think they played kind of similar outside of that fadeaway. Kobe's and Michael Jordan saying.
Dwayne Wade and Charles Barkley both, like, I'm always blown away by both of them just because of their height. Like, D Wade is 6'4".
Yeah.
And like if you see him and Charles next to each other, they're like pretty close in height.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Charles Barkley's like not what he is, whatever it is he says on paper. I think he only says like 6'6".
I didn't say like 6'8" on paper.
No, he's not that at all.
So let me ask y'all a question real quick. We got time. Best finisher for a little man. Who would y'all say, man? Like so
I would say little.
under 6'5". Best finisher at the rim.
Oh, at the rim.
I mean, just finisher.
Kyrie's
period.
close. Kyrie's close.
Oh, Kyrie is close.
I was about to say,
AI and Kyrie. AI and Kyrie are probably
I'd say Kyrie and D Wade under 6'5".
Oh, I guess D Wade isn't that conversation. I
Yeah.
mean, like the way okay, I guess you have to go D Wade number one because he plays to the point where you forget he's little.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's got very long arms.
Yeah.
True.
So like that's what did it for him. That's why he's like one of the biggest, like the
Shot
highest
blocking.
with shot blocking for a shooting guard, and steals and things like that. He uses his length so well. But
Mhm.
Kyrie, man, he can play the glass like better than anybody. Like any
Anybody,
angle on the glass, he can hit it. You saw him teaching
Either
Kevin Durant,
hand.
like either hand.
Kevin Durant was getting so annoyed.
Yeah. Either hand is the upper hand, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I feel like Kyrie, he's got to be the number one.
like,
you know,
it's
I feel
ridiculous.
like Westbrook deserves to be at least in the conversation, but Kyrie, man, it's just
passion, bro. Like that's crazy. Like, bro, I really just like watching Russ is really just passion. Like, directly converted into basketball. Like, it's literally just giving something about and telling him you can't put this in there, and he's just gonna like jam it in there. Like, no matter what he has to do. Like, at it is crazy watching him play.
Find a way or make a way.
Right. But I mean, just comparing the generations between basketball players, it kind of just directly transitions into something else I want to talk about was just being, I guess a step better than the generation before us. So one of the things that I want to try and talk about every episode and kind of just, ram into the head of everybody is politics, just because I feel like we have to like be politically aware. And I don't think it's any easier than right now. Like,
it's not, bro.
I don't know if politics were ever this entertaining. Like, I don't know if I just didn't understand it. I know my dad just being African, like every day CNN is on. So I mean, it might have always been this entertaining, but like, bro, watching the Supreme Court judges confirmation hearings.
Kavanaugh.
I mean, first off, they were ridiculous. Like,
shout out to Cory Booker, man.
Bruh. Him and Kamala Harris were
absolutely. Shout out to both of them, man. For having energy, man.
I'm bad. Like, I'm still, getting better at this. But there's another senator. Probably didn't remember his name because he was the white guy. But I mean, I'm just not
Dick
familiar.
Durbin?
I believe so. Yeah.
That was the one who said he was with it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, exactly. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Bro, like, just following that, I was just like I was blown away.
Absolutely.
And I just liked how it challenged me to like just really look into it and like understand these things, because they're sitting there like yelling at us and stressing to us, the American people are being like fucked. Like, this is completely like out of like conduct.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, as a voting citizen, I had no clue what the conduct was. And so as I'm reading like what normally was supposed to happen versus what they were doing, I'm like, bro, we live in like a crazy ass time where it's just like everybody's just literally doing what the fuck they want to.
Yeah.
And like,
so did I'm gonna ask a question real quick. So did either one of you guys get to watch the speech by Barack Obama that he had? I believe it was yesterday.
Friday, yeah. You said
Friday.
Saturday? Yeah, Friday.
Friday.
Friday, man, bro.
I mean, it was literally a chilling speech for me, man.
I don't know if you know, but these Kobe Bryant and Barack Obama, all-time favorite people of all time. Like, I take a bullet for either one of them.
For sure.
And that's not hyperbole. I mean that actually. In actuality. So of course I watched it. I tell you something else. I watch his speeches at work to get motivated sometimes. Just watch them because they motivate me. Just like, man, this guy, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so talk about juxtaposition,
man.
That,
oh,
bro,
God.
It's so crazy. Just to see him really easily spell out, like, this isn't normal. This has nothing to do with Democrat and Republican.
It's not, man.
This is against who we are as Americans.
It's not conservative. It's not progressive. It's
right and wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's literally right or wrong. It's not, hey, I think we should cut taxes. No, it's none of that.
Yeah.
It's the president of the United States who represents us should not act in this way.
Yeah.
The Republican Party should not back him up when he does these things that are clearly wrong, clearly against our moral code, clearly against our Constitution and our values.
Yeah.
So it's really great to hear him come back. I hate it a little bit just because it does give give Donald Trump, it does give the GOP, it gives them a fool because and it also kind of distracted a little bit because on their own, they were already fumbling the ball. You know what I mean? And then we fouled them.
Yeah.
I gave you two different references. They were already about to fumble the ball out of bounds, and we fouled them. We let them off the hook because now they get to talk about Barack Obama. You know, they want to use him as
instead
a
of focusing on what they're doing wrong.
And the only bigger fool you could have is probably Hillary Clinton for them.
Yeah.
So you watch his speeches, but I don't know. I mean, I guess probably when he was on Larry.
Larry. No, it's not Larry King.
Not Larry King. Larry.
No, you're not saying Larry.
Oh, his name's not Larry.
You're talking about.
I really led with that too in confidence. But the late night host that has the
David Letterman.
David Letterman. Jeez, I was off.
Yeah.
But David Letterman, the last time I guess I've heard Barack speak was on there.
I thought it was
Wow.
Stephen Colbert.
No, I think he's talking about.
So he has a
that's
show on Netflix now where he
It's
just
on
is like
Netflix.
doing
Letterman, absolutely.
My
yeah,
next
I got
guest,
you. I got you.
introduce my
Yeah,
next
yeah.
guest.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, for sure.
And so I think that might be the last, like I guess, and that's not even that
Well,
formal.
you know, he spoke. You know, he spoke in Africa. He went to
Yeah,
Kenya.
yeah,
I
when
don't know
he
if
was
you
with
you
his,
caught that as well.
sister.
Yeah.
Oh, he went there for Nelson Mandela's. It was his
Oh,
100th birthday.
okay,
100th
okay.
birthday. He spoke there.
So I
And
guess I genuinely don't know the last time I heard him formally speak.
you didn't see that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah.
So like in my mind, of course, I believe, you know, without a doubt that Barack is an amazing speaker, one of the best I've ever heard. But I really haven't been refreshed on that in a while. And I guess right before, so I mean, I essentially just follow hella news outlets on Twitter.
Sure.
And so I see the video of Donald Trump at a MAGA rally. And I obviously don't even click on those normally, but they were like the hero we need. And it was like a page that's typically like blast Trump. And so I click on it, and it was like this guy at a MAGA rally staring at Trump like,
Plaid shirt guy.
yeah. He's
Shout out to Plaid shirt guy. I already know where you're going. with.
Bro, he's staring
Oh,
at
man.
Trump like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
man. So-
And he's
so-
in the center of the camera.
So I actually watched an interview about that today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they brought him on CNN on Don Lemon's show
Wow.
last night. I think
Shout
it was
out to
either,
Don Lemon.
Yeah, shout out to the guy.
Don
He has
Lemon.
came alive.
Yo,
He
he
is,
is
man.
coming live
Hey,
in the
man.
nighttime.
For real, man. That Talib Kweli diss, man. It made him support the culture.
Did you
man.
ever see him get his ear pierced on New Year's?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Oh, he was drunk as shit in a bar with one of the other anchors from CNN.
This was
And-
like televised?
And he got like just amateur hour, got his ear pierced, and like just drunk and just out there, just wow. Televised on CNN. It was the wildest, funniest thing.
Hey,
I
go look
gotta
at the
go
video.
back and
Gotta
find
go
it.
look the video.
Yeah.
yeah.
Go
But,
ahead, man.
but what were they saying on the interview?
Okay, so essentially, they had Don Lemon had brought him onto a show, and a 17-year-old kid, and what he said was that essentially they briefed him prior to the start of the speech, and he said that they told him that whenever Donald Trump starts speaking, we need you guys to show emotion. We need you to be hype. We need you to be clapping. He even said that they wanted him to wear the Make America Great Again hat. And he said he just wasn't going to do it.
Should have put Kanye in there.
Would have been right for it.
Yeah.
For real. So apparently the guy was actually a Democratic socialist, Bernie Sanders supporter. So, but he said he wasn't going to turn down the opportunity to see the president of the United States speak.
Sure.
So I understand
Yeah,
that,
that's
you know.
reasonable. Yep.
So, he went to the speech, and, he said that he was going to show his true emotion. So, when Donald Trump brought up things like Bernie Sanders being cheated out of the Democratic primary, he absolutely clapped for that. He stood up, he clapped for that. But when Donald Trump brought up other stuff like
The popular vote.
the popular vote and, things about the economy, he showed his true emotion in those instances as well. Kind of even like his facial expressions, and he would even say stuff where you could read his lips, like kind of like, what are you talking about? Things like that. So what the Donald Trump team did was they brought in another replacement for him mid-speech.
Sure.
And just kind of came up to him and whispered in his ear, like, hey, we need you to move, move around. So they told him to go and have somebody escort him to a back room, and someone replaced him. And then someone replaced the friends that were beside him as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Those were his friends.
Yeah, his friends. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy.
It was super crazy. And the clip that I saw, what he was responding to was Donald Trump was just saying like, oh yeah, like it's way harder to what did he say? He said it's way easier to win the popular vote. You just go to a couple states and then you show up, and I mean that's that. And the crowd goes crazy, and I'm like, dog, like that's not how like the president speaks. And so then they'll like just watch BO's like speech. I'm like, damn, I forgot. Like,
yeah,
I've been asleep, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this is how like,
yeah, this is how it's supposed to be done, man.
And at his farewell speech in Chicago, 10 days before he finished up, I remember afterwards, like, people came onto the area and they just like, CNN, some of the other outlets, they were just like, really take this in, because we're not going to see this for a long time. Regardless if Donald Trump does a great job or whatever, we're not going to hear these soaring speeches And you know what's missed about it is obviously he inspires. You know, he doesn't prey upon our fears
Absolutely.
and try to divide. He
Yeah.
says, you know, from the first time you met Barack Obama in 2004 at the DNC speech, he said we're a lot more alike than we are different. And so every single thing was about that. As if we negotiate in good faith on these type of issues, we can move the ball forward. He said, Republicans, they want to make America great, as well, and so do Democrats.
Yeah.
And we might differ on how to do that, but we're all Americans.
Yeah, and the ultimate goal is very more similar than it is, different.
And Donald Trump says, no, there's us, and then there's them, and they don't like this country. They're bad for the country.
Absolutely.
And they're not like us.
And one thing that stood out to me as well was just Barack Obama's, the segment where he talked about the media, and he said that, I've had a lot of trouble with Fox News in the past. You guys know, you've heard me gripe about Fox News, but I've never called them the enemy of the people.
Yeah.
And obviously that's been the trend here with Donald Trump.
What's most interesting is just, he was pointing out, but just not really Donald Trump, but it's how much the GOP, the Republican Party, has capitulated to him.
Absolutely.
It's not the Republican Party.
Yeah.
It's the Donald Trump Party.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that he's going for and that he values are against Republican interest.
Directly.
Directly.
Absolutely.
Because cozying up to Russia.
Yeah.
Like, if
he said this is not conservatism.
This is not conservative. Yeah.
These are the same things that like Barack, even flirted with doing just out of being kind of civil, and Republicans like would lose their minds. Like,
absolutely.
And I mean, that's not even a Barack thing. That's a long-standing Republican thing. We're hawkish on, foreign affairs. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say one real quick. So one thing that, like, shout out to Barack for that speech, man, because I feel like what's the Candace Owens, young lady who Kanye West put on the map, unfortunately, but
she fell off pretty hard quickly too, didn't she?
Man, some people still support her, but essentially she continuously brings up the fact that the Democrats were the party of the KKK. The Democrats were the party of the racists. The Democrats were the party of, going against civil rights, the Civil Rights Act. And
which
Barack Obama,
that's not true.
Yeah, I mean,
that
absolutely.
Last
the last part
Lyndon
is absolutely not true.
Lyndon Johnson obviously passed.
You are absolutely right. So, but Barack Obama, he handled that head on. Head on. He talked about the fact that, Abraham Lincoln was the Republican Party who fought to, free the slaves, quote unquote. So, that was the original idea of the Republican Party, and how far this current Republican Party has drifted away from that original vision.
Sure.
That's an interesting take too, to like combat it like that. Because I mean, essentially those parties have like the alignment, I guess, politically has pretty much switched.
Yeah, it's just shifted. It's fluid.
But to not even address that, but to just say, okay, y'all were them. What are we now?
And so a couple of things with that. First off, Abraham Lincoln is Barack Obama's favorite president of all time. But I think it is interesting to really talk about that, because if you just look at it, man, I was just looking at some of those nominees now who have won the Democratic nomination in Florida. The governor
Andrew Gilliam.
You got here. The governor that's running here, Stacey Abrams,
Abrams.
Black woman with like mini dreads.
Yeah.
Not an ambiguous looking Black woman. Yeah. You can tell she is a Southern Black woman.
Absolutely.
You got in New York, what's her name? Cortez or Ocasio-Cortez. I'm totally butchering it. But you have these really strong minorities. You have women, really strong women. Black people, you have Hispanics, man, Black and brown people, and
Keisha Lance
Bottoms, the mayor of a major metropolitan area named Keisha. You know what I mean?
That's so lit, and she's everywhere.
And she's everywhere.
Going through the airport,
and
hearing
you
her
look
voice,
at this.
crazy.
But here's the thing: who'd she get the mayorship from? A Black man named Kasim.
Yeah.
And you look at this. Only in the Democratic Party did they nominate the first Black, a president, Barack Obama, and then follow it up with the first female. the Republican Party, you look at them and they're closing their tent. They're getting tighter more than they are expanding. So you might have, in this fluctuation throughout time, see, you can get a Donald Trump this way. But in the long stand, there's no way you can win with the changing demographics to be tightening it to white men and white women. That's it. That's the only people. No gays, no transgenders. Democratic Party is transgender, gay, whoever you are, we accept you.
Yeah, you're an American.
You're an American, no matter what shape or form that comes in. And so that's so interesting to look at those two. And I just looked at the lineup and I'm like, this is crazy.
It's crazy that they're falling on that sword. So maybe in 2008, you could I think it's reasonable to be blind to the fact that we would be here. I don't think anybody would expect us as a country to be, this, I guess, accepting and really just intentional about diversity and about inclusion. And I mean, it's mainstream now.
Sure.
In 2008, if you're ignorant to that, I think to me, it's not just, blasphemy.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's just more acceptable than it is nowadays.
Nowadays, how could you even think that? To be ignorant to those things is a decision at this point.
I don't think
it's intentional at this
point. I don't
point.
think they think that. So after 2012, when Mitt Romney lost to Barack Obama, the Republican Party tried to completely rebrand, and they said we need to bring Hispanics in. We need to bring Hispanics in, and we need to bring women in as well to this party. And so they did a whole session, and they just spent, and the whole new playbook was to expand it, and the Hispanics and women were those two minority groups that they were going to expand with. And Donald Trump turned that on his head. So they knew in 2012 when they lost that this was a need. But Donald Trump said, no, we can win with just our white people. But that's not going to be the case.
And they rather just be winners than be smart. They rather be winners now than be smart. In the
that's
long
a
term.
blip in the long standing, just where it's going to go.
If our generation gets out and votes.
Yeah.
That is the big shift, man. If you listen to this podcast, please get out and vote.
In the generation after us, don't forget these guys are turning of age, and they're even more diverse. They're even more accepting.
Absolutely.
And so when you look at that, you can't help. It sucks. You look at this day to day, and you're like, this is really wild, But you can't help but to be optimistic going forward.
Absolutely.
Knowing people that are accepting are the people that are going out. Because at the end of the day, the only way to really get all this out is it's got to die out of the the pool. It's got to die out of the pool. This race and this bigotry, it doesn't just go away overnight.
It does not. And I was talking to one of my coworkers about this.
No, go ahead.
But Barack Obama brought it up in his speech, the fact that in our generation and the generation past, this previous not this previous presidential election, but the previous midterm election, 1 in 5 millennials went out and voted.
Wow.
So we're talking
2014.
Yes. Yeah. So 20% of the people that were eligible to vote made the decisions. So it's not surprising that the ideologies that are being presented in Congress or in the House don't represent what we believe in, because we're not electing these officials. So I anytime that I hear people, and it's not just presidential elections, not just the representatives, it's even your local elections. Anytime I hear anybody try to complain about police brutality or situations where police aren't being held accountable, these are your district attorneys. Those
We're
are the people
who hold them accountable.
We are the people, those district attorneys who decide whether to bring charges against those police officers or not. Those are publicly elected officials. So unless you get out and vote in those, elections, your local elections, it's not going to change. Do your research. Figure out who's, Sean King is a great resource to figure out who is, a progressive candidate who is going to attack make changes, true changes to our criminal justice system and find candidates who are going to truly represent us.
By the way, you definitely should get out and vote because your voting rights are under attack in a
Absolutely.
lot of
and people are
ways.
completely unaware.
They're completely unaware of what they're trying to do to strip our voting rights.
Yeah.
And that's why one smaller thing, you talk about Roe versus Wade and things like that. That's why Justice Kavanaugh it's a pretty big thing. Gerrymandering, the Supreme Court has voted to uphold the Voting Rights Act plenty of times. But with the new justice, they're not gonna change it completely, but
Mhm.
they'll be able to tinker with it enough to be able to segment
To
out
exclude people.
minorities.
Absolutely.
They just upheld a voter purge law. You see this?
Mhm.
And what they can do now is, if you haven't voted in the last 2 or 3 times, then they can purge your name from that.
Absolutely.
And if that happened before Barack Obama got into office, all these people who hadn't voted in a long time,
It'd be
Barack
over
Obama
with.
might not have been in office.
Absolutely.
You show up the day you're ready to vote, and you realize, hey, you got to go
You've been
register.
purged.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah.
purged.
Yeah.
Then so these things matter, and so obviously elections matter, and so you got to get out and vote.
I mean, we wouldn't even be here Supreme Court wise if we had, just more of a presence in our local elections, because just the fact that Barack couldn't appoint a justice
Merrick Garland
is ridiculous. And now with all the things going on
Almost
in
the
the
exact
White
same
House,
resume.
stole a seat.
Yeah.
He was a moderate
Yeah.
justice, like
Mhm.
in comparison to everything to who he could have selected. He selected a moderate, slightly older. He was 60s. He could have selected a very liberal 40-year-old justice that was going to be on there for 40 or 50 years.
because you kind of miss Barack's optimism, just in the sense that I need to do what's best for us.
Yeah.
I need to get somebody who can see both sides and be reasonable, versus just playing the sport of it, of, yeah, I'm going to get one of mine in it. And it's just like, it's ridiculous that not only, so this is now 2 seats
2 seats, Neil Gorsuch, and now
that we're going to
Kavanaugh.
allow Donald Trump, amidst all the stuff that's going on. And there's nothing in place to stop him right now, because we have to handle our business on the local level.
And the Senate obviously
Yeah.
abolished the rule that you needed 60 votes.
Exactly.
So now you can do it with a simple majority and get these Supreme Court justices, which is that's
It
ridiculous.
directly goes against the checks and balances that
Yeah, none.
that we're supposed to be instilling in as our country. And I think I'm for sure doing an episode towards the end of October, and I'll probably come back and do it with you guys if y'all are open to it, because I'm sure a huge part of my demographic will be Georgia and Tennessee,
Sure.
and just go over some of like the local elections in both states,
Yeah.
I'm definitely down for that.
just to try and keep people aware of that, because it's just something that I think is wicked. Do y'all think Gilliam can pull it out in Florida?
Absolutely. I do.
I do. But the thing about it is Florida is Florida. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a freaking weird
Yeah.
state. Like,
Yeah.
man, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And another Trump effect, really quickly, is that all of these candidates are now running to be like Trump.
Yeah.
And that sucks, because not only do you have one, now you have all these people. The way to get elected now is to say, I'm just like Trump. The guy down in Florida, DeSantis, he said, I'm more Trump than Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, are you saying are you like verbatim, or are you kind of like
That's what he said. That's verbatim. He said, "I'm more Trump than Trump," and so that's what's going on. You know,
Dog.
and so that's where they have to run to now. People who actually are more moderate Republicans are getting kicked out.
And want to be ridiculous.
Yeah. So the way to get elected is be ridiculous,
Absolutely.
be like Trump. I mean, we can nominated Roy Moore in Alabama.
Yeah, dude.
That's wow.
And man, I pride myself on the fact that I actually lived in Alabama. I moved from Montgomery here to Atlanta in April, so I was
This
able
year?
to, yeah, this year.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Yeah, man. So I was able to vote in that election and keep Roy Moore out of office.
There we go, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
man.
Doug Jones,
It's
right?
crazy
Doug
that
Jones,
was
man.
close. Like
Yeah.
that was.
It was so
thing.
close, man.
Hey, it's not crazy. It's Alabama, bro.
True.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
I-
Roll
I thought for sure, like, I went to the polls, like, man,
It's a
Roy
formality.
Moore is probably gonna win this, man.
Yeah,
but
wow.
my conscience, I gotta get out and at least do my
See.
part.
yeah,
And my wife and I, we stayed up and we watched the results, man. And
yeah.
I remember. So you have the contrast of when we went out and we voted in the presidential election for Hillary Clinton,
Sure.
and Donald Trump won the election. And just I know you guys probably felt the same way, just going to sleep that night with just like, man, that pit in your stomach. I mean, we woke up with the pit in our stomach.
Yeah.
Have you?
But just having that difference of when Roy Moore lost the election and Doug Jones
Oh, yeah,
won,
it
just
felt
feeling
great.
that, So I'm ready to feel that again with
Yeah,
Stacey
yeah.
Abrams, man. I'm all about it.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live skit? Was it Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Bro, that is like
Spot on.
spot on, especially
on.
the next day at work. Like, and in my job, they were just excited to talk about it. I'm just like, dog.
Think
leave
about
me
going to work in Alabama, Montgomery,
Oh, my
Alabama,
goodness.
after Donald Trump won the election,
And
man. It's-
Chattanooga, Tennessee isn't that
Yeah.
far off.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
One thing I do like, not one thing, just the Barack Obama afterwards. and he's just so level headed, and he says, obviously we wanted the other person to win, all this other things, but he says, he tells his staff, he says, you know, this is the way that what's the saying? He says, the arc of justice, it bends, the arc bends towards justice. I'm getting that wrong, but he just says nothing is the end of the world except the end of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
He says, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I want to play that now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, and so it's just like he keeps things in perspective. This is very bad.
Yeah.
We've seen really bad days,
Mhm.
and it's still pushing. If you look at that trend line, it's still going positively. And you see this scatter plot,
Absolutely.
and this one's an outlier.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
For sure.
You saw that in class.
Yeah.
It's an outlier,
Yeah.
and
And we move past it.
if we get out and vote.
And even Dave Chappelle talked about it in his stand up where
Yeah.
he said, we needed this to happen.
Yeah.
This is a wake up call. Like,
Yeah.
this is what happens when we don't vote.
Yeah.
That's super true. Because everybody was just on cloud nine with Barack. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody's feeling themselves, and I get I never mind. I don't want to. I feel like I have to say it since I started, but I don't want to give Trump that much credit. But
He energized his base, man.
energized is a better word. I was gonna say inspirational, but he energized us more than I think Barack did.
yeah,
He's scared. Oh, he energized the opposite base.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And I think the biggest thing is, man, the indifference. The indifference that I see, especially, with my fellow Black people, that a lot of people pride themselves like, oh man, I don't even get into politics like that. Like, oh man, I don't really get into that political stuff, or my vote doesn't matter. All politicians are corrupt. This and that. Don't believe the hype, man. Don't believe the hype. Your vote matters. You know what I'm saying? Especially on a local level. I can't encourage people enough to get out and vote,
Yeah.
especially in this next election.
I could talk about this all day, but I say two things left with. First off, one of the most frustrating things is kind of in that same point is when people were making that false equivalency that Hillary Clinton was
It's
Donald
the same
Trump.
thing, yeah.
And
It's
that
so
was the
frustrating,
most
bro.
frustrating.
It's so
And I
frustrating.
said the next day, I said my first thought afterwards, after this, after you got elected, was I can't. For a woman, that has to be a slap in the face.
Yeah.
I said they see that but they see it every day.
Yeah.
They see guys that are wholly unqualified
Absolutely.
getting interviewed for the same positions they've worked their whole lives for.
Yeah.
Only because their dad knows someone at the company.
Mhm.
She was the most qualified presidential candidate ever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You look at that and you have someone who should not even be an intern at the company.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And they are able to be in the highest office. And I said that's a slap in the face to women
Absolutely.
that happens.
Yeah.
And so that was really frustrating. I forgot my second point.
That's crazy. But definitely has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But this was kind of heavy, and I want to transition into something, which is the craziest week in white rapper history, like ever.
Yeah.
But before I get to shenanigans, I do want to stop and have a moment for like Mac Miller.
Hey man, RIP Mac, man.
Yeah,
And we
the
can
rest of this.
transition to that, you know what I'm saying, how bitch ass Donald Trump tried to
Exactly.
sue that man, you know what I'm
that's
saying, because of his song. Yeah, man. RIP Mac, man. Took me through some tough times in
So
college.
you were a Mac fan.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Best day ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Macadelic.
Yeah, Macadelic,
man.
yeah.
Kids, all
Yeah,
that, bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm with that, bro.
What's scary is, so I credit it to Kanye when we first started getting regular people rap. Like, and that's when I really started like,
What do you mean regular people?
well, people rapping about things that seem like real life
Ah.
versus rapping about like bitches, cars, money.
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Stuff that you just like.
Just more accessible. rap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like just really talking about feelings and things that are real. And once we started getting into that, bro, like it really gets scary when you have situations like this with Mac. And I didn't listen to Tentacion XXX.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to him like that. I wasn't a fan. I heard a couple songs, they were cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But it gets scary when you start thinking like you go back and you listen to music and you see these signs and just hear the things they're saying and you're just like, bro, like I don't know what else he could have done to tell us like I need help.
I listened to a song this morning, like you said, it was just talking about, him and his drug use and just his upbringing, man. It's
Bro,
just like,
sometimes I wonder who the fuck I am. Like, what like just all of that shit, you just like, damn, this is heavy now.
I could not agree more. I went back and I was like, let me listen to it like a more hype song. So I listened to Lucky Ass Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, the whole time I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, this nigga the whole time he's just talking about, I do this drug, I do this drug, I do this drug, I do this drug. And like, I remember being in school and just being so turned to it. I was like,
So
this shit is
turned.
so
Yes,
lit.
bro.
And then I'm like, damn, like, yo,
One of my
bro.
favorite Mac Miller songs. By the way.
Yeah, bro. Like that, like when I heard that shit, I was like, oh, this is my man's. Like, yo, like I like really, really enjoy Mac Miller. And it honestly, bro, it really hurt my heart. Like seeing that come across the screen.
I'm
like
telling you, bro.
I like you, I didn't really listen to XXX. But Mac, like that hurt my heart. I was
Bro,
like,
for
damn,
real,
bro,
man,
like he's just dead. Like he's gone. Like, you know, and so that one hurt.
With him, so I haven't dealt with a lot of death in my personal life. But one of the things I've noticed when I have dealt with it is I get this numbness to it. When it first happens, I'm super numb and kind of just in shock, I guess is a better word for it. And typically when an entertainer dies, I feel like I process it pretty fast, think about it, you know, replay, you know, some of the bigger moments that, you know, may have meant something to me in my head, and maybe a day or two, you know, I know it's happened, but I move on. Like Aretha,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is terrible. But I mean, Aretha, like it didn't hit me like that.
Same
I was
here,
like,
bro.
damn,
Yeah.
Rip to the Queen,
Yeah.
kept it pushing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to like make it sound bad.
Yeah.
But with Mac, like it really processed, like with, you know,
Bro, man.
death of somebody I knew. Like,
Yeah.
I was in shock, and then I was like, damn, like this, bro, 26.
I'm
like,
telling you, man, like it's like one of those things where I feel like, you know, me personally, because I guess like every artist has a different effect on everybody,
Sure.
obviously, you know what I'm saying? So with me, Mac was one of my, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you're going through college, I put Mac in that same category as like your Wale, your J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Like Dom,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He was in that same era, Wiz, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
All of them was together, you
yeah,
feel
like
me?
09 to
Yeah,
like
bro.
11.
Exactly, bro. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yesterday I got home from work and laid down, took a nap. Maybe, you know, I was watching Breaking Bad 'cause I actually just started watching the show.
Oh,
As
shit.
embarrassing as that is, man. So,
Bro, I'm
just-
not a Breaking Bad like fan like
bro,
that.
you gotta watch it, man.
I just think
So-
it's just
so-
okay.
So, all right. So I fell asleep watching that. Wake up to a text message from my brother with a screenshot from TMZ
Shout out to
saying,
Brandon.
"Hey, yo, for sure. Shout out to my brother, man." So wake up to a screenshot from TMZ saying Mac Miller died, and I mean, like you said, man, it's like a numbness. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when Aretha passed, I ain't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Even as embarrassing as this is to say out loud, even when Michael Jackson died, you know what I'm saying? I was so young.
Wow.
He didn't have that effect on me.
I was
'Cause,
told.
bro, I'm telling you, bro, like I ain't listened to his music like that. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
okay.
It is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has, every musician has a different effect in your life.
Right.
I was a Mac Miller fan,
Yeah.
bro. Like I was that guy who was bumping Mac, and people around me like, bro, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I put folks on him.
That I put all my homies
Bro,
on.
I'm
I put
telling
all
you,
my,
bro.
my homies in the video.
Like, I feel
put
like
them on Mac.
Dom, Mac, you know what I'm saying? Those are two artists that I pride myself that I put folks on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Folks wasn't bumping Mac. Folks wasn't bumping Dom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Folks wasn't bumping Nip around me like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? I put folks on that, bro. And like, you know what I'm saying? Just at 26, like he's a year younger than I am.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so you said, you know, that accessible music, but he was a really like intimate form of music. Like
Yeah.
if you
It's
listen to it,
relatable as
yeah,
fuck.
it's like he really let you into his life. And so I had a lot of like moments with Mac Miller. And so like that sucked. But I was the opposite for Mike. Like Mike, I was hurt there too. Like
I was hurt for Mike, but I was like that with Prince. Like when Prince died, I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
But I
sure,
mean, like
yeah.
I felt like bad
Sure.
for people. Like my
Yeah.
mom was devastated, but I didn't
Yeah.
like.
I tell you who I feel bad for, obviously. Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
um,
man.
And then like to see media like just attaching her to it, like
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, and that was one thing that bothered me, man. As a Mac Miller fan, you know, just reading the articles they're saying.
Ariana Grande's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
like-
Say the man name, man.
He was Mac Miller before he was Ariana Grande's
Absolutely,
boyfriend. You know what I mean?
man.
And so, but one thing that is really cool is you see the outpouring of love. Like
Absolutely.
every single person that met him
Yes.
clearly says like he was love. He was pure
Yeah.
joy being around him. It was fun. He was a cool dude. And so like no one like has any like mild feelings for him.
Not at all, man.
But Ariana Grande, man, just so there's that portion of just attaching her to it, but it's just, you know, whether she's with this new guy, Pete Davidson, or Pete, whatever his name is, you know, they just broke up 4 or 5 months ago. They were together for 2 years.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah,
all right?
it does.
Then
man.
it sucks when, you know, the reason why she left him was because of this.
Mhm.
And then that's the reason why he died.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a lot of people are in her comments saying, immediately she turned her comments off.
Yeah.
Because people are saying, you did this, you killed him. You know, are you happy now?
Yeah, people are sick online,
That's
man.
fucking disgusting.
And
it makes you hate. It makes you hate social media.
It is disgusting, and it's just like, you know, Mac Miller, rest his soul. He made his own choices.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
sure.
He made his own choices, and it sucks that, you know, somebody would lay something so heavy on someone's soul because she probably already had that thought in her head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you're with somebody for 2 years, you don't want to give up on them.
Yeah.
She didn't want to have to give up on him.
Right.
She had to do what she thought was best for her.
Absolutely.
Bro, and then just talking about people on social media just being reckless. Bro, I tweeted, and I think at least one of y'all saw it, that shit with Ebro. Like, bro, so the people on social media who do that, like, that blame and just putting that in Ariana Grande's life or just saying anything irresponsibly online, like, you kind of just accept that they're idiots. Like, you just know, like, oh, this is a stupid person that probably is unhappy about their life.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot going on. They're probably not a meaningful person.
It's
hard to say.
miserable type shit.
But Ebro, who's the host of a morning show in New York, has been a part of the music industry for years. Obviously knows his platform. He's on like the biggest rap station in hip hop history.
Mm-hmm.
To like get online and just suggest, oh, there was foul play or something like that, bro. That family is grieving.
Yeah, that's reckless.
They already got to deal with that shit, and you just
man.
putting shit out there. Like, there's somebody who's gonna quote you and write a bullshit article. People click on. You know that. Like, you're not.
Man.
But
you got too much clout for that, man.
Come on, bro. Like, that shit is
That's
distasteful.
some DJ academic shit, man.
I swear.
Hey, yo. No Ack. Hate,
You really be
no
fucking with
slander.
Ack.
So I do, bro. I do. Not to
Do
transition.
you fuck with Ack as like yeah, let's transition. I'm sorry, let me cap that. So again, rest in peace to Mac Miller, and you know, love and condolence to his family and loved ones. Now, academics, like, you really be supporting him. Do you support him as like creating his own niche? Like, do you like that, or his business about him, or you really like fuck with like the content?
Well, both, because I think he's very quick and very I think his insight on the industry is actually pretty good. I think he has a pretty good feel, and then he has a good working knowledge of what's going on. But I mean, I don't like none of that corny shit, like that, like funny shit. But I just respect him as a businessman, kind of like how he's kind of carved this out, and it's not 100% trolling. It's like he's getting this information quickly and distributing it to the masses, and he's able to build his brand. I like his brand building capabilities.
Would you hang out with him?
I think he's a cornball, probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's probably a cornball. He seems like he's kind of lame, but I think he has a logical thought pattern, even if I don't always agree with the end. And I think I've always kind of like respect people who like have a logical thought pattern. I think he does.
I think he's logical in the sense that he thinks before he does things, like, or most times he tries to.
Yeah.
But I don't think he knows, like, enough. He kind of, man, this is gonna be a wild comparison, but he kind of reminds me of Tommy, or is it Tommy Lauren?
Tommy Loren.
Tommy
Yeah.
Loren, in the sense that they're both. I genuinely believe they both believe like what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think either one of them is trolling. I think they both believe in what they're doing, but they just don't have the experiences to know that they be wrong as shit about stuff. Like,
Is Ack wrong as shit consistently?
Act be wrong. Act be wrong for like perpetuating that shit. Like, when rappers be rapping about like doing coke and shit and ecstasy and all these opioids, and that's all they promote, and they get on social media and they put it out there, and their rap name is Uchi Wally or whatever, and we've never heard of them. And then Act, with the following of millions of people, goes and promotes them. Like, that shit is bad. That shit is irresponsible journalism, bro.
He's not a journalist.
Bro,
I think you're holding him to a higher standard. First off, he's our age. I think he's maybe 28. I don't know.
I wouldn't post that shit.
So
you couldn't send me that and be like, yeah, shut me out.
So, but that's how he gets in these niches, because he is getting on these artists early. Like, he was in 6ix9ine camp early.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's in these smaller artists, And I think he really cares about the game. Like, he wants to hear a lot of music. And I think he promotes these smaller artists early. And I it sounds like a freaking academic stand, but like
You do.
he's not my man's. But I just like
You
how
vouch,
he
you
built his
vouching
brand.
for him,
You
man.
did vouch for him.
But
already.
he's not my man's. But I like how he built his brand.
The business of it, I can.
Yeah, I like
support.
the
Yeah.
business of it. Like, bro went from like nothing. He's like working for Complex. Like, I
That
like
shit
that.
fouled up, bro. That should be like. I just don't think you could like it. So I'm not even 28 yet. But if I was 28, I just don't think I could promote people and see their lives going to shit by the very things that I'm promoting, and be like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing it.
What do you mean their lives? These niggas
I mean,
die or something?
you got like XXX who is troubled, and like you are part of the people that's really like, putting him out there and like just covering everything he's doing and helping to shape his image.
Well, I mean,
So you don't
I
like
think
Shade Room, Baller Alert? You don't like anything?
I think all that shit is messy as fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, bro. Like,
So what
and
you-
that's one thing I was gonna say. I mean, like, I'm not. I guess it's hard for me to like, vouch for the man because like I don't really follow him enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get down with the whole gossip shit. You know what I'm saying? And I
Sure.
feel like he is a shade room gossip. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just his lane. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I respect it if that's his. You know what I'm saying? That's his niche.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna respect you anything outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a TMZ ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, like, that's what you do. You're a gossip dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to respect your opinions when it comes to intellectual conversations or you know what I'm saying, things that are going on in hip hop or anything like that. You're just a gossip guy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And if that's your lane, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. But like, that's what I see Ack as, man. And I mean, it may just be because that's all I've seen. I don't follow. I don't have a, you know what I'm saying, tough following him
Sure.
on him. But
I think he does have a pretty good working knowledge of like recent hip hop. I'm not saying
Okay.
that he has like a long standing, but like all these new niggas that I know nothing about,
Yeah.
he knows these niggas.
I know he'd be in his 6ix9ine camp.
Yeah,
tough, you know what I'm
he's
saying.
6ix9ine.
He seemed like he's in it pretty early. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And so he be on these niggas that I know nothing about. But yeah, I mean, in that gossip, you get into that and like distributing this,
Yeah.
content. I just think that's the new way that we are learning about these things.
Yeah.
We're not waiting for this shit to be confirmed by this bigger site.
Yeah.
It's these individual contributors.
Mhm.
It's these curators like Baller Alert, Shade Room.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you
Even-
know about Baller? Did you know how Baller Alert got started? So I just saw this recently. Baller Alert used to be, and I think they still have this functionality, but they would like women would be signed up for this like thing, I don't know, database, and whenever like you say you're at a club and there was a baller in there, they would send out a text like, "Yo, Kobe's in here." Like, come through with your favorite
Wow.
stuff.
Wait.
That's Baller Alert. You know what I mean?
I mean, that makes perfect
that's what
sense.
it was, and I was like, "What?" I'm like, nigga,
That's wild.
Wasn't that on like a Migos song, Baller Alert?
Yeah, they did mention them. Which Shade Room, bro? That's blowing me how big they are.
Yeah.
Like they have like an account like bigger than like most people that we know, like individual like
Yeah.
celebrities. Shade Room has more power and influence. And I mean, they're mentioned a lot.
So
And that's who I would go through if I were a celebrity.
Yeah.
I would go through that to distribute my message.
like you
one
said,
of
like the
channels.
individual curators, like that makes me think of even Sean King. You know what I'm saying? Just
Sure.
the political activism he's doing just on an individual basis. Like, and I think that like sometimes it's hard to realize how much power you have.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of times where I see I'm not gonna say there's a lot of times, but there has been an instance where I've seen he said something
Too
and then-
fast.
yeah, too quick. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it didn't necessarily,
Pan out.
pan out exactly, and they do the fact check and it's not necessarily what he said it was.
And the thing is, but that's something that you do end up sacrificing a lot of times.
That's a risk you
wh-
take. Yeah.
when you're trying to be first instead of trying to be
Exactly.
accurate. But I think
And I think
what
that's news media in general.
but that's the thing. These guys aren't that. Like, we're holding them to the standard of journalist.
Mhm.
And I think it's wrong. I think it's disrespectful a lot of times to lump a lot of people in with journalists.
Yeah.
Because journalists are so
Trained.
pure in what they do,
They
bro.
do, yeah.
Like, and so I kind of, that's who I stand for, is real journalism.
Yeah.
Because I think they get shitted on so much nowadays.
They do.
And like, they really do a good job and try to be objective about a lot of stuff.
Shout out to April Ryan, man.
April Ryan,
Bro.
yeah, she got
Hey,
a new
man.
book out, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Go get
Yeah.
that, man.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I like April Ryan, and I remember one time I think she checked Angela Rye on air because Angela Rye will get out there sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
she will. She with the shits.
She'll be too much. You know Simone Sanders?
Mhm.
Yeah,
She's only 28.
No
Really?
way,
Bro,
man.
blew
Simone
me
is with the low hair, right?
with the low hair, like bro,
Man.
28
She-
was the campaign
that's-
chairman, communications director, something
For,
for Bernie Sanders.
yeah.
No,
28, bro.
No way, man.
Like,
that's like
blew me. I'm
that's,
like, yo,
that's borderline Webby
makes-
status.
That
yeah,
makes
Yo,
that does
like-
make sense though.
yeah, like I'm like, man, I'm proud of you, man. Yo, but jeez, what's the guy who's on there? Jeez,
Not Don Lemon.
not Don Lemon. He's a contributor.
Van?
Not Van. It's another black guy.
Don Lemon.
You're not gonna think of his name. I'll
Not
have
Prince.
Prince.
What's the?
Oh,
Nah.
Yeah,
That nigga's off. That nigga's off. He got in trouble.
Oh,
For what?
Like he was working at Arizona, state of Arizona. And he was like doing something to women, bro.
shit.
He's so corny, bro. I
Bruh,
remember
the,
listening
like,
to him. I remember
jokes-
listening to him on like NPR because I'm a big NPR guy, man.
Bro,
I'm
NPR is where
slick-
you go
I'm
to
slick-
get the real, bro.
Bro, I'm slick washed, bro. I gotta admit, bro.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
But so,
If we still are.
bro,
We
I,
be
I,
going.
I just remember, bro, him. You know what I'm saying, being a contributor on there. He's usually the Republican voice, man.
Yep.
It's like, bro, I'm listening. I'm like, come on,
He
man.
worked for
Like,
Bush, by the way.
bro, you remember where he was like crying about
Yeah.
Bruh.
he was so passionately moved.
Bruh, no, the one where he was crying where Donald Trump didn't denounce where he was like from both sides. There's good people from both sides, and then Paris Denard, that's his name, Paris Denard, man.
That's such a
Yeah.
cornball
I called him
name.
Prince, bro.
That's
Paris
such a
Denard, bro.
cornball.
That's
I
That's
knew
it.
exactly
exactly
what
who you
you're
were talking about. Yeah,
He's such a corn. He's a cornball for sure, dude.
but we went on a deep tangent. But to get back to the White Rapper Week,
Oh shit.
did y'all
Oh shit.
did y'all listen to Eminem at all?
Bruh, I so the thing is, so the album dropped, and I was actually in LA at the time, man. And I listened to it when I was in the airport, and the first few songs, like, damn, man, he's spitting this is him, you know what I'm saying? And then like the more I listen to it, I'm like, god damn, he's just saying a lot of words fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really getting nothing from this. You know what I'm
He's just-
saying?
he's
Just to
just
keep it 100. Like, yeah, bro. I mean, he was saying a lot of words fast though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that, man, I don't know, man. His last album was. It was better than advertised. I feel like it was a little bit underrated. Not that much underrated, but it was a little underrated.
It wasn't as bad as people were trying to.
It
make
was
out to be.
not. It was not, man. I really don't think it was.
Not
man.
this most recent album. The one before.
The one
What
before
was
the
that?
last.
Recovery,
Redemption. Some
I
shit
don't
like
know.
that, man.
Yeah.
But and one thing, man, about M, bro, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for, bro. It's like he be like standing up for the culture, bro. Like I think that like M really be speaking out on some political shit, bro. Like really, like holding not only Republicans, but you know what I'm saying, just people in general accountable. You know what I'm saying, for the way that they view and that they treat the African American community.
Mm.
And I don't feel like he gets enough credit for that.
You know something with first off, the guy's name was Bakari Sellers.
Oh,
Bakari,
that's your guy.
that's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Okay,
That's my
okay,
mans.
for sure,
He went
for
to
sure.
Morehouse, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Morehouse. But you know something that's interesting about that with Eminem is that low income white people and like black people, they're in the same boat.
Yeah.
They're in the same boat.
Same
It's-
fucking boat.
For
Wow.
some reason, well, I know what the reason is, but like they are like, oh no, we're nothing like them, like you. Like y'all on the same food stamps.
Yeah.
Y'all in the same
They just call it snap.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, we don't like Obamacare. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they're on the same program. We want the AFA, the Affordable Care ACA. We want the Affordable Care Act, buddy. But no, so I think that's interesting. So really, when he's talking about these things for the culture and our culture, it's helping out them as well. So
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why they're like,
That is
yeah,
crazy.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
it's just a funny way to. I don't know
It's
why
weird.
they look at it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is weird.
But I want to assume it's from the Joe Budden thing, but I just didn't know like that people really hate Eminem. Like people really don't be fucking with him.
People like who? You like fans?
You haven't seen that on social. I mean, I think it's just a social media trend. Like it's cool to say,
Yeah.
but I always fucked with him.
Yeah.
It's like when Lil Wayne started falling off, it became cool to talk bad about it. You know what I mean? That's how it is with him now.
But I will keep it a buck. Here's my thing with him. I know, like, without a shadow of a doubt, like, as good of a rapper and as skilled as a rapper as he is, I have no desire to hear him. His content that I appreciated from him didn't age well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
not. I think, like you were saying, bro, like, one thing about it is just the lack of replay value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even the album I was just talking about.
Yeah.
None. Yeah, I ain't listening to that again. I won't.
Yeah.
I have no intention to. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that funny shit, bro. I don't like that funny shit.
I did growing up.
I did growing up.
I never
grew out of
thought.
it.
Exactly.
I never liked that funny
You
shit.
did?
Bro.
You
did, bro?
No, bro. I was like, bro, just
My
chill,
name
bro.
is Hi.
Okay. No. Okay. But
I
just
was
like,
gonna
just
say-
like being so like, all right, that's cool.
Guess
but
who's back?
like just talk the
Back
shit that he
again.
says sometimes. I'm like, bro, just chill, bro.
Bro,
Like,
there was what was the one where he was talking about the dude bullying him and shit. You know what I'm talking about, bro? It was on. I think it was on some Shady LP.
Not Stan, because that's not really a bullying.
Nah.
I don't
Damn,
remember.
man. I remember the
I
name
know
of
what
it.
you're talking about. I don't remember the name of the song.
Yeah, but I think that was like kind of on some funny shit too, because Dre was, you know what I'm saying, like at the end of it. But like you said, bro, like I feel like we just kind of grew out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I liked it when I was a kid, you know.
So, but I respect him from when I really liked it, and from just the fact that I know he's super skilled.
Yeah.
So to me, just knowing like how I feel about it, bro, I just don't listen to it. I don't shit on it. I don't say nothing good about it. I don't say nothing bad. I just leave it be. Every time he drops, I say, cool, I move on with my life. I don't listen to it. I don't click it, nothing. So when this album comes out and everybody's losing their mind, I continue on with my regular ass life. But one of my boys, and shout out to Pangay, is like adamant. Damn, M went off. M went crazy.
Yeah.
This new M so fire. And I'm just like, all right, cool, bro. Like, I'm glad he's enjoying it. Bro, he calls me like twice. He's like, bro, y'all got M fucked up. And I'm like, no, bro, I haven't listened to that. Like, I didn't really care about it. He's like, yeah, I seen y'all in the group message. I was like, I haven't heard it. I didn't say a word. He's like, you need to listen to that shit. And so I ignore him yet again. So then the conversation arises in the group message that we're in again, where somebody's like, you know, this is trash.
Yeah.
And Bangay's like, this song, bangers. You fucking crazy. So I'm like, oh, that's 4 songs. I'm about to get on the flight. Let me just save them to my phone. I'll check it out. Bro, I listen to it. I'm like, whew, this is not a banger. This is not a banger. So I was like, let me go to the other one. And the Joyner Lucas one. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is straight. And then I think
I fuck with Joyner, man.
yeah, I do fuck with Joyner. Shout out to Joyner Lucas. And then I think I tried the one with Royce next, and I liked it. But I mean, I didn't consider any of them bangers. I wasn't like, damn, he went crazy.
Yeah.
And then I went to the one, he was just like dissing everybody under the sun.
The first song, I think.
And it kind of reminded me of like when
Control?
not Control, because I think that's the attempt. It was just like Control didn't feel desperate because he's hot already. It felt like that shit Nicki Minaj just did with like Barbie Dreams, where you just say everybody's name, throw something to the wall, and hope
Shock
it
value
sticks.
type
Exactly,
shit.
hope it sticks. And I was just like, damn, Eminem is this desperate? I'm unaware. Like, I didn't really know his album flopped. Like, I heard it, but
The last one?
But the thing is, so you're saying like the one before this?
The one before this, like
Okay.
sales. I mean, when you're the hottest person in the world and you take a couple year break, you're 45. You're not gonna be that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that.
I mean,
anymore.
but even this album, like, you know, in Eminem standards, I feel like it flopped. But
He
realistically,
did 415 first week.
first week, man,
415.
415. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it was projected at like 250.
He did not. He still
Damn.
did numbers. I tell you what, I'm glad you guys didn't bring it up, so I can be the one to introduce it. Machine Gun Kelly killed him, bro. He came. Y'all didn't hear this,
Bro,
I
went
heard it.
off.
I heard
bro?
it,
Like went off, like, and I'm like not an MJ Machine Gun Kelly.
I
fan.
haven't heard
I haven't-
anything
I don't-
since
I don't
Wild
know.
Boy.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know one song. I forgot about that. Yeah, Wild Boy. That's the only song I know.
Is
about
he?
him.
Is he from Antioch?
He's from
No, I'm thinking of Yellow Boy.
Yellow Wolf,
I
Yellow
was
Wolf,
like,
Yellow
I
Wolf,
was like,
Yellow
what?
Is Yellow Wolf from Nashville?
I think he is.
I think it's from like Alabama.
I think it's from Alabama.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember him
Machine
performing
Gun,
at
I
Fat
think
Cups.
is
I
Machine
just thought
Gun.
he
I
was from
think it's from
Antioch.
Pittsburgh.
So Yellow Wolf has a Nashville artist,
Okay.
and Machine Gun Kelly's from Cleveland, actually.
Cleveland. Okay.
Because I'm a
Okay.
Eastside Cleveland Wild Boy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you're right.
But I'm not an MGK fan.
No, but
I love that
like,
song. I ain't gonna lie.
but Wild Boy,
Yeah.
me too.
I only like it because he's like, Waka, do you think you're a lyricist? He said, hell no.
Is that the one where he's like, Goku?
No. He's like, it's the video. He's like, Walker, do you consider yourself like a lyricist?
Yeah.
Walker look at him. He's like, hell no. And then he goes, yeah, here come that bullshit.
Yeah. Yo, but like,
I've never
he
seen
was
it.
speaking, but I mean, like, I think he just wanted to do it because he like, this is my time. You know
I
what
mean, I think he's got an album coming out. He needs this as
yeah,
bad as
yeah,
him does.
exactly. So like,
Yeah.
this was good for him. Like, he like, all right, great.
This is
You know what I
low
mean?
key a oop.
Yeah, exactly. It was a oop. He was like, oh, I'm about to get him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on their side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it was like we're in the era of just the most respectful. Well, outside of Pusha T's ass, he didn't get the memo. We're in the era of just the most respectful disses. Like it ain't no more of just completely berating people and insulting their entire
I need
life.
some ether shit.
I
man.
swear, like he
Duppy
was just
was
like
a good diss.
I mean, Duppy was a good. This was pretty respectful. Like, I mean, like it wasn't nothing that you just like.
Virginia Williams.
That's where he fucked up. But I mean, like, dude called it. I think he called him the GOAT.
Yeah, he did.
We respect you so much.
Yeah,
did,
And
bro.
I'm just like, this is how you like. This is weird to me.
Like this isn't a diss song.
Yeah, we know you great. Yeah, we know you do great album sales. You're so cool.
He said, "You
What?
rich
He
as
was-
fuck. You still mad?"
Yeah, it's like he did the opposite of what Eminem did. So in A Mile where he's just saying all his faults.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I'm gonna take your positives away. I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, we know you're great. We know you're this. So it's like he did the opposite of that. So that Eminem can't just say, yeah, I'm rich. Yeah, I'm the greatest. So he like already grabbed that. So if that's what he was trying to do, then I commend him for it.
I mean, it's definitely just difficult as Eminem to like look up and now, most of your career you've had, the greatest producer, arguably the greatest producer of all time, and now you are just so obsessed with your beats and like,
$3 billion from Apple. That's how much beats got sold.
oh yeah, I'm out of here, dog.
$3 billion. Forget a beat, boy.
Yeah.
And so now you
Making a
got,
beat.
you got Eminem producing his own stuff and throwing all the pop stars on it. It's just not a great product. And so now like that he's trying to go rapidy rap, he's just desperate. So
Yeah.
MGK gets at him. Now, I tried to like gain like interest to look into this, but I mean I couldn't. What's the issue with him and G-Eazy? Do either one of y'all know?
Bro, no, I think he's just calling him like a cornball or something like it. He made his hair like me or something. But Eminem's career has been dead since Mariah Carey ended it.
Bro, Mariah Carey. So did
Carey.
you know that after? And so I said that I was like, Mariah Carey.
You about to tell me them voicemails? All right,
I didn't know anything about that.
We still don't.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Mariah Carey,
Not a
like
body.
Mariah Carey.
So after Mariah Carey drops Obsessed and has Eminem, like the dude looking like him, or it's her, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Who's the person playing Eminem? Isn't it her?
I don't know.
I think it's her dressed up like him playing around.
Getting bodied by a singing nigga. That's Mariah Carey.
So I think she's like making fun of him, and then like, I think on TRL or something, he like premieres tapes of her like talking and begging for it, basically. After acting like, why are you so obsessed with me? Like, I don't want you.
Yeah, I'm a mom and pop. You're a mom and pop. I'm a corporation. Which, as big as Eminem is,
I mean-
Mariah Carey is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
She global.
Which I had a guy arguing with me, like for real down, that Eminem was bigger than Mariah Carey, and I was just like very upset about that.
I mean,
Dude,
it-
I
it-
mean, like
all
she,
t- like, when
she
she-
has like the Christmas, you know what I'm saying, song of all time, bro.
she hasn't been able to hit
Oh.
those notes in like 5 years.
She hasn't,
and
you know
they
what I'm saying?
book her every year just because of how
Bro,
big
but the
it
thing
is.
is, like, all they gotta do is just, you know what I'm saying, play the track.
Yeah,
They just have her there.
Yeah, I don't know why
She
we
like
don't-
created a new octet or something. Like she hit
Octave,
like
yeah.
what octave or whatever.
The Squeak.
Yeah.
I think like her and like Ariana Grande can hit it now, apparently.
Yeah, but hey, that We Belong Together, bro. I tried to hit that note the whole time. Ran out of breath. You know what I mean? Like-
Bro, have you ever seen the video of her and Busta Rhymes?
Which video?
It's not like an official music video or something. It's more recent, and it's like it's that song that they have together, and it's like, baby, if you give it,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Hey,
They
bro,
were
watch
talking
this
about,
shit.
Bro,
bro.
watch
They're
this
so
shit.
wild.
Bro,
Busta's so
Busta ass is drowning in sweat. Busta is sweating
Busta
at a
is
rate
so
like
hot.
I'm not that wet in the shower, and this nigga is drenched in sweat, and he's in there just bouncing his shoulders on her damn, and she's just missing every note. It's like when
Bruh.
you play a video game, like or something that, like that little dunk
The,
honey give,
the,
and you're a
the,
super kid,
the
and you don't
Guitar
know-
Hero shit.
and you just are, Guitar Hero is even better, where you're just constantly missing and missing. And so she's with every note, and I'm like, she don't know we can like hear her. And then Mariah Carey has the absolute like just the best confidence when it comes to singing because she always looks like I'm doing great.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
this sucks.
her feedback has to be broken.
It's either Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. It's like that. It's like
That's
he's
supreme
still
confidence.
like Michael Jordan probably still think he can beat the whole league. He probably still like, hey, I'll come back right now and I'll whoop y'all niggas ass.
And Mariah's got to be on that.
Yeah,
same
so he's
shit.
like that Washington shit wasn't real, dog. Like you never seen
it reminds me of like Ocho Cinco. I don't know if y'all follow him on Twitter, bro, but
bro.
The way he be talking to people, I'm like, Chad, you know you like couldn't do it no more, dog. Like we saw it. And he be like, yeah, your feet not fast enough, dog. I be like,
like, come on,
Like, yo,
I fuck with Ocho, man, because he
I don't fuck with him.
Oh, you don't fuck with him?
Nah.
Bro, the McDonald's shit is weird.
Yeah. Hey, the feet shit is weird too.
True.
But he be waxing niggas on FIFA, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
waxing
slick.
niggas. I give him that.
I respect him on that, bro.
Yeah,
But
You know what I'm saying?
no.
Just because I've been waxing niggas for a long time.
Bro,
A lot of
he eats
games.
McDonald's like every day.
But you'll get waxed though.
Okay.
We are definitely going to have to turn the. We're not going to make it out tonight. We're definitely going to turn the PlayStation on after this. It's been too much shit talking. But yeah, he eats McDonald's every day.
What?
Yeah, like
Why?
or some like that's. I don't know if that's real, but he be like,
He be real deal standing McDonald's.
yeah,
bro.
like
It's
standing
weird, bro.
McDonald's. It's weird as fuck, especially like just his size. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
That shit is wild.
Nah, yeah. I don't eat some McDonald's and smoke cigars like every day, huh?
Yeah.
Dude
yeah.
is. I
Plays
mean,
FIFA all day.
I guess like he figures like I've already destroyed my body in the NFL. It's no use trying to like take care of it now.
Yeah. What we got? Wash? Was it?
Oh, I think that's the last thing we got is just being washed. And I was just asking y'all because I know y'all are in Atlanta. Like,
yeah,
bro, this is like the black capital
yeah.
of America.
It is.
Are y'all washed or do y'all like really get to live Atlanta up?
Let you answer, Mary, man.
Nah, man. Let me let you answer first, man.
Well, anybody knows me, you know this. Like, I've always been a homebody. Like, I ain't never just wanted to just go out all the time and things like that. So
Washed is the verdict.
So no. So, but here's the thing. Like, I really, really enjoy Atlanta.
Yeah.
I love going out and seeing people that look like me.
Nah, for
like,
sure.
And they're successful. They
I'm
ain't just on
telling
their
you, bro.
bullshit.
Nah, not at
They
all.
successful. Like, if I go back home,
We're
to
not
Nashville-
talking limelight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I go,
We're not
so here's
talking
the thing.
limelight.
If I go back home to Nashville, the middle management, the upper management positions I want to get into, those positions are held by white people. These people in Atlanta, they're held by people that look just like me,
Just
who
like
go
me,
to the
man.
same places as me and party. So I do like to go out a good amount, but this is why I'll say I'm slightly washed. I was talking to my friend the other day, and I just told him like the things I was excited for. I was like, man, we getting a new couch, bro. I was like, man, we getting a new couch. And I was like, look, bro, we getting a new table in a couple of days too, bro. It's a wood table with this, And then I tell him, I said, man, you know something I hate? I hate wrinkles in my clothes, bro. Like, just he like, nigga,
What the fuck
you
is
talking
wrong
about?
with
You
you?
talking about some old man shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I forget my belt. Like, just, and he like,
I can't
bro,
even tuck my shirt in.
and he like, bro, what the hell? Same age as me. He like, bro,
What is wrong with you?
But it's interesting. We're at this age, bro, where like we got friends just in so many different
so
priority levels,
all
so
over
many
the
different
place,
spread.
yeah.
Like nigga, like I'm just trying to do this. Like I'm still trying to fuck bitches, get money. Like
Yeah.
sorry, you had to edit that out.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's like that. That's what we got friends trying to do that. We got friends that are married.
Yeah.
We got what I mean. So it's just the range is so wide right now
Absolutely.
at this age.
Absolutely.
Got friends with kids.
Yeah.
And so and everywhere in between. So I would say slightly washed because no, you know what? That's what I want to say. I'll say I'm not washed, but my priorities have changed. So I'll say
That's
that.
fair.
Absolutely. That's real. That's real, bro.
That's a very washed answer though. Like, you don't just be out here living and come out with that answer. I mean, that's perfect though. I feel
Yeah.
you. What about you?
Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm washed.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I don't want to be washed, bro, I am, bro. Like, I'll admit it. You know what I'm saying? Like, married. You know what I'm saying? Been married for. I got married April of last year. You know what I'm
Congrats,
saying?
bro.
So, no, I appreciate it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell people, like, because a lot of people ask me, man, like, how's marriage life? Bro, you know that Wale song where he's like, where it has Seinfeld on the beginning, bro. He's like, you never know what it's gonna be like, bro. It's like the beginning of a roller coaster, bro. Like you'll never be ready for it, bro. You won't. Like he's preaching to you, bro. For real. Like that shit is not a joke. You won't be ready for it, bro. It's change. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be ready for it. Like you just have to, you gotta adjust with it. Like you're gonna have your disagreements. You're gonna have your, your struggles. You just gotta make it through it. You know,
It's real.
Yeah, man. So, but back to me being washed. We had a period in our marriage where I moved down here in April. My wife did move down to August, and I was down here dolo, living in Midtown, Atlanta, in a dope ass, you know what I'm saying, one bedroom condo, high rise.
Midtown is lit as fuck.
Bruh. You know what I'm saying? But I thought for sure, bro. I was worried. You know what I'm saying? I was worried. You know,
I was
bro.
terrified.
Yeah, bro, exactly. You feel me? Like,
terrified.
bruh. So I was sure, like, man, I'm gonna fuck this up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
I know me.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
That's legitimate.
Well,
Congratulations.
I mean,
I
for
that's
real,
a big
bro.
deal.
Because
I
like
appreciate it,
anybody
bro.
who's just not familiar with Atlanta is just gonna hear this and be like, "What?" But no, like if,
Bruh. I'm telling you, like chicks on my floor, like you know what I'm
go
saying.
home.
I had, I threw a party for the finals. We on the 39th floor on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Oh,
You feel me? Like,
Bro, I feel you. Like, and I tell all my friends, and Blake just know, I said, bro, I want to try to describe to you my location, like where
Bruh,
we're at.
it's crazy,
and,
bro.
And like
It's crazy.
every single thing is accessible.
yeah,
And everything is right in front of you.
bro.
And like because of just the options here, like
Yeah.
like what would be I just gonna sound misogynistic. What would be a 10 in Nashville? You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's average here.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely,
So
man.
crazy.
So it makes you really just, you know what I'm saying, change around your priorities, what you really value. And yeah, I'm low-key washed.
That's good.
I'm low-key washed,
Congratulations.
man.
That's good.
But
Nah,
y'all
I
went through the
appreciate it, man.
gauntlet. That's pretty impressive. You guys went through the Atlanta gauntlet. Like
Absolutely.
you were
man.
in like probably like here in Houston, or probably like
Yeah.
the bad bitch.
It's
capital
so
of
you know what I'm
America.
saying, if my wife listening, man, if shit don't work out, I'm gonna feel like a dumbass. You feel me? Like,
Hey, if Jesus is listening, if this don't work out, if he ain't really coming back, I'm gonna feel like a dumbass for living like a
real,
Christian.
bro. I could have got some.
I could have went crazy,
I could
bro.
have got away with some crazy shit. You know
I
what
was
I'm
gonna say
saying?
y'all
But-
are in the gauntlet, and so I mean that's really big of y'all both to be like, nah, I'm chilling out. Because for
Yeah,
me,
bro.
like I feel like I would have made the choice, but I didn't really have an option.
Yeah.
Like my surroundings washed me, and I just like acclimated to it to where now like, but when I go back to the VL, everybody hit me up, and I just ask. I have washed responses to like
Yeah.
messages. Like,
For real.
people will be like, yeah, we finna hit the sea. It's finna be lit. Let's go turn up. What are we celebrating? what is the occasion? And
For
they're
real,
like,
man.
we just going up. Like,
And I think that, like, especially with us, man, like, you realize that, like, shit changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, with me, I realized that I got shit to lose.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, at this point in my life, bro, like,
Man, that's a good.
I got a government gig.
Yeah.
You feel me? Some shit go bad. It ain't no coming back from. I work from the Department of Transportation.
Yeah,
I,
DOT.
I catch a Dewey. It's over. That's a
Wow.
wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's done
That
for.
is tough.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just it changes your whole perspective. You gotta have a paradigm shift, and you gotta change your decision making process.
Sure.
So I think that's what's happened to me.
I do like the crowds that's yielded me to though, being washed.
Oh, for
So
sure.
when I'm washed and like, man, this is crazy. But the littest thing like I look forward to on the weekends is like a good ass game night, bro.
Bruh.
Especially if it's like you like your game night with your your friends that you already
Mhm.
know, you hang out, it's cool, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But when you have like a game night, random game night you're invited to, and like you just hear just different careers, you see people being successful. Your careers like you don't even know, because like in the black community we gotta get out of that. Like
Yeah.
you got and I mean if you touch the African community, it's terrible, especially Nigerians. Like you're a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer.
Yep.
And with black people, we not too much further off than
What
that.
you
Like,
majored in? Business management. Looking at.
yeah, like and then like
Yeah.
I mean, you only got like 5 careers where black people treat you like you know anything.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like as you get older, you just learn more. And it's just like I'm happy that I'm seeing things like aviation and like in marketing. And I'm like, okay, if my kid like is young enough and their interests are in like video games, we can sit down and come up with a real career.
Absolutely.
And I don't have to be closed-minded like the
For
people,
sure.
like the generation before me, where they're just like, this is what you have to do. And so, like, conversations like that, I'm excited, like, when I go out.
It's about exposure, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like in my experience, like aviation, I would have never got into it if it wasn't for my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? He was a helicopter mechanic in the Army. You know what I'm saying? One of the only African American helicopter mechanics, in his day in the Army, and he wanted to be a pilot, but due to the discrimination and racism that he faced, while he was going through the process, he wasn't able to get through. So he encouraged me to get my pilot's license, to get a job in aviation. I ultimately didn't pursue a career as a pilot, pursued a career as an air traffic controller, but still stayed in the aviation field, man. And it's a gold mine. I mean, it literally, like, is not many jobs that you can make six figures easy in. I didn't even have to have a college degree for the job that I'm in right now.
Sure.
And it's a gold mine. We're just grossly underrepresented.
Yep.
And there's several organizations that are reaching out to young people of color to try to bring more people aboard and to introduce them. We do a ACE camp here in Atlanta, Aviation Career Enrichment Camp, which basically tries to introduce the youth into aviation careers, to let them know that, hey, pilots aren't the only jobs here in aviation.
Sure.
You have, air traffic controllers, you have mechanics, you have aviation medical examiners, you have, aviation lawyers. There's so many careers in aviation. There's so many options that are available. Aviation engineers that aren't really exposed, and they make you think that, like, one thing that really bugged me going through, and I hate to go off on this tangent,
No,
man,
keep going.
but being in air traffic, the thing I get the most is like, hey Darrius, you're air traffic controller. That's one of the most stressful jobs in America.
Yeah.
And I have the same response every single time, man. Like, being broke is stressful.
I swear.
Getting
Way more stressful than any job.
Getting your lights cut off is stressful. Selling drugs is stressful, bruh.
I swear.
Talk about
You
it.
feel me?
Talk
You know what I'm
about
saying?
it.
So, like, this right here, we're built for this.
Yeah.
We are built. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
If anybody is built for this, it's us.
Yeah.
So I encourage anybody, usajobs.com, anytime that, that there is an open bid, you have to have 3 years of work experience to be able to apply for a job as air traffic controller. It's all you need. 3 years of experience and a high school degree. You don't have to go to college for this job. A government gig with full benefits. And I mean, I make so much money. I don't want to brag, bro, but like, I make so much. It's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? People like, man, it's hard work, man. Like, I've got paid a lot less to do a lot more in my life, bro. You feel me? So, yeah, man, that's my TED Talk, man. I appreciate y'all coming, man.
You did
Bro,
get in
for
your
real.
bag, though, for a second. That was
I got
hard.
to, bro.
That's a blessing,
hard.
Jay-Z.
Hey, for sure, bro. I appreciate that,
Jay
man.
be on the track talking
Jay just be
shit.
talking,
Hey,
bro.
man,
Like,
I got to, bro.
Hey, that's a blessing, man.
Hey, I ain't get this Tesla, man, just off talking, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
flex. That's a flex for you niggas that don't know what
Hey, man.
Tesla is.
Hey,
Humble
man.
brag, nigga.
Hey, man. Pull up on them, autopilot.
But I mean, that's how it is, bro. And that's really the kind of conversations, like, stuff like this is exactly what comes out in, like, the washed ass dinner parties. And that's where
Absolutely.
you're going to find me.
Yeah,
Niggas
for
be
real.
hitting me. I'm not pulling up at the weekend on a
Yeah.
Saturday for no reason. It better be your birthday.
I found out
nigga.
about this shit through some washed ass niggas.
Don't text
Real
me to come
shit.
to the weekend for no reason.
Yeah.
So you said you were washed?
No, I'm like, were like in the past, or
You are
I am.
You said presently.
Watch.com, my nigga.
I'm in the fan club, man.
Bro, I'm about to go. I'm about to go to the house, soon after this and smoke hookah. And probably
Oh, y'all got the hookah now?
hookah lit.
Ah,
About to
that's
drink
lit.
some wine. Might chill on the patio.
Yeah,
Read
man.
a book.
Hey, but
Yeah.
that's a good night, bro. If you
Bro,
get out of the
no,
patio,
So maybe I ain't watched because that is a great night.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
bro.
telling you,
just,
bro.
just
like-
really made me happy. That's a great night.
Or I could be in a club looking at worse ass bitches that
Spending
I
your
couldn't talk-
money.
spending $50 to be sober,
Yeah.
and bitches I couldn't talk to or I wouldn't want to talk to if I could talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, man.
And then I spent money to be in a damn booth or some shit.
Hey, let me buy a bottle for $300.
Yeah, the same
with a
bottle-
firecracker on it.
Shit, corny, bro.
No.
Hey,
No,
hey,
no, no,
hey!
no.
I did buy a bottle like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you got. I mean, you got to like.
You
You
got
got to
me, bro.
splurge when you do go out.
I bought a bottle. Nah, I ain't buying a bottle. I'm gonna get the Tesla first, then I'm gonna get the bottle.
No. The funniest shit I've ever seen, and people like act like it's normal. Like when I comment about it, everybody looks like it's weird. Look at me like I'm weird. But in Nashville, I guess it's a fire hazard now, or I don't know if these niggas are just cheap. But when you buy a bottle in the Ville,
Bro, they don't have real
They don't-
sparklers, bro.
they got the
They
security
got the
like
yeah,
flashlight.
bro. It's
And-
flashlights, bro. It's electric lights.
Same
bro.
price?
Same
Same
price.
shit. all
you,
that.
you tripping?
Nah. We gonna
tripping,
need $250 for the bottle of hen.
Baby girl, you better drive out to Ashland City and get my sparkler.
I swear to God, you
Because this
better
ain't
get that.
gonna work.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Bro,
that
it was
shit-
so corny, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bro, that shit be having me hot. But we've been going for a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it. I guess I gotta start with like the drink rating. I mean, we've deplenished this Douce. So to say we didn't like it would be a lie for sure. But is that a word?
I'm about to look it up.
Deplenish really flowed out too.
I feel like it is,
No,
bro.
it's not. It's not. So look. Look. I think you meant deprived and replenished.
So I mean,
Or depleted. Depleted. That's what I meant.
depleted. I mean, I feel like if depleted is for sure.
Hey man,
word.
deplenished, man. You heard it here first. man.
Deplenished.
This
Yeah,
is a
fuck
new
that
word,
shit.
man.
We have deplenished the Douce. So that's, I mean, solid. I mean, so for one, you could do the combo however you want with the Douce and the lemonade, and so that really changes it. So I'm gonna give it like, I guess a range. So the first time I definitely slaughtered out when I made it myself. So I gave that like a 7.5. But when you mix it the second time, I give it a strong 9. So that's it for the Douce rating. But bro, I want to thank y'all for sure for coming and doing this. This shit's been lit. We've been going for a minute.
For a long minute.
Long
Bro,
minute, bro.
And the talks off there were the best parts. Sorry
Yeah.
for y'all.
Damn near.
Yeah.
Sorry for y'all. But did y'all have anything y'all want to shout out or plug? Any social medias or anything?
Now I ain't got nothing to plug. We got Blake coming up on the hot wing challenge after this. Don't think I forgot.
Relax.
Don't think I forgot.
Relax.
So you got that. My birthday, September 21st.
Oh, we for sure. Hold on.
Shout out.
Hold the birthday shout outs. We're going to get to those in a second.
Hey man, shout out to the homie Blake, man. You feel me? Follow him, man.
Shout out to Blake.
Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
bro.
Actually,
You got
What's
to,
the
man.
Twitter?
yeah, we definitely want all the support. So like, repost, share all that. Follow us on social media at _ me and the homies. We appreciate all the support. I mean, when I first uploaded the social media was just this weekend. Everybody went crazy. I was really surprised.
And I feel like me and Blake, bro, we're so similar. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of stay in our box. You know what I'm
Bruh,
saying?
for
Like
sure.
it really takes a lot of courage, and you know what I'm saying. It just to step out and do stuff on your own, bro. So I got mad respect for that, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. I'm very appreciative to be one of the 2 people on your
Yeah.
second show, bro. That's lit, bro.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I was
That's
like,
Proud of you, boy.
y'all are like 2 of the like ideal people I think about when I'm doing this. So we're definitely gonna do, more runs of this, and that's gonna be fun. And I appreciate y'all saying that because bro, this shit has definitely been a learning experience. Like
Yeah.
you think like, oh, I'm just gonna hop into this, and like this shit is there's way more to this than what you
Yeah.
would, take at face value. Did y'all have any birthday shout outs?
Hey, one other quick shout out.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to the homie Dokes, man.
yeah.
Hey, bro.
JD was good.
Bro, I ain't see you in a minute, bro. I love you, dog.
Oh yeah, we definitely
real,
gonna get
man.
JD on here too. I don't think
Get
he
outta
like.
here,
I don't think he like make that public. No, I'm definitely not editing this out. But I don't think he told anybody. I'm for sure running the trap hot.
Hey, man.
I'm for sure running the trap hot.
Nah, edit it out. Edit it out.
No, fuck that.
Hey, man, I'm pulling up on you, Dokes. In Dallas, man. What's poppin',
You
dog?
gonna come to Texas? That's where you're at.
Damn, bro, you making the trap super high. I'm sorry, JD.
Yeah, fuck that. You good? Y'all got any birthday shout outs?
Dude, I don't want to date your show, but September 21st is my birthday. I'll be 27. That's Shout out to me.
Lit.
Happy
Shout out-
birthday to boy, man.
Appreciate it. Shout out September 22nd. It's my mother's birthday. So the day
that's
after
hard.
mine. I got the last day of summer. She got the first day of fall.
That's
how we
real,
gonna
bro.
do it. Yeah, that's my mom's birthday.
Transition.
You gonna
man,
do
that's
anything
real.
for your birthday? Like anything?
I'm
go
gonna be,
crazy?
yeah,
You're gonna be in Europe. I
yeah.
already knew.
Dang, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I seen the passport when I walked in here. I was
You
like,
know what I'm
oh,
saying?
this
I
thing
had
goes
to
some
renew
shit
it.
here.
I had to renew it.
Okay.
He had to renew it. That shit was too full of stamps.
Damn,
Like
boy.
the date wasn't up. It was just too many stamps. They was like, this is unacceptable.
I'm
We
trying to
can't
get
take
money
this
like you, man. I
anymore.
would be like you when I grow up, man.
I want to drive a Tesla when I go.
All right, for the birthday shout outs this week, we got Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany. Happy birthday. Shout out to Whitehead. Happy birthday, boy.
Happy birthday, yo.
Shout out to DJ Tim Lido. Oh, sorry, DJ 2-3.
2-3 in the zone.
Yeah.
And happy birthday to my guy, Dr. Garth. Rest in peace. All right, y'all.
RP.
Happy birthday, homie. For me? Yeah. Happy birthday, homeboy. For me? Yeah. Make a wish.